And we're in. Hello, everybody. Yep, everything looks like it's working fine. Hi, hello, it's Sunday. That means it's Some Other Heroes Day. I am Chris. I use he, him. I am your DM, storyteller, chaos wrangler. When I'm not here, I am an illustrator, designer, and all-round geek on the internet. I am joined by three lovely regular faces, all of whom I think most of you are familiar with, but I'm still going to get them to introduce themselves because you never know. And I think we've got some new faces in chat today, which is always lovely. Who are we going to pick on today? I am going to go... Charlie, would you like to go first, please?
Yes. Hi, I am Charlie. I use she, her pronouns. I am also an illustrator and a writer and a lecturer, as well as also being big dork nerd. And I am playing Aisling, who also uses she, her. And I went on a massive dog walk this morning, and my dog is very flat. She's very tired.
Amazing, thank you. Apart from tired dogs, we also have some tired cats because it's just too dang hot for floofs today.
It is awful.
Awful.
Summer can...
Theo, would you like to go next, please?
Hello, I'm Theo. I am also an illustrator, and I use they them pronouns, and I will be playing resident awkward nerd Eugene.
Brilliant, thank you. Yes, Nikki, we all have new hair independently. I think we've all gone and done something different with our hair. I think Theo, even yours is looking. You've coiffed yours.
You got a fresh fade.
Yeah, it's not fresh, but thanks.
Take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Wayne,
trust me, Theo. Take it while you have it. Hi, I'm Wayne. I am going to break the pattern because I'm not an illustrator.
Boo!
I know, disappointing.
You let him in.
how did you get in?
Nonetheless, they allow me to play with them and pretend like I know what I'm doing. And my pronouns are he, him, as are those of my character, Rock, who is the buff and confident dragonborn in today's game.
Rooney finally got it in. She thought about it the other day. Behold, Wayne the Rock Johnson.
I can't believe none of us have made that joke before.
Well, how have we not done that?
I have no idea.
Stunning.
Because we don't want to damage people, but...
Yes, we do.
Wayne actually sells himself
Why
as
stop
short
now?
because although he isn't not our illustrator, he is an amazing designer, and he does all our overlays and the video graphics that you see on our breaks for all our streams. So he is a very talented man, just in a very different way to the rest of us. So
We let you in because you're also a crazy creative. So.
Also, we enjoy playing with you. So
That
I
as
live
well.
with you, so I can't get away.
You've got no choice.
I mean, you can try, but no.
We love you, Wayne.
Awesome. A couple of small things before we leap into the recap from last episode. Thank you to the new faces in chat today. Hi, come and make yourself welcome.
Hi, new people.
Hi.
Get comfy. Have a coffee.
Yeah,
have
exactly.
a Mickey.
We're queer friendly and LGBTQIA+. Always,
All of them.
All of them. Make sure you get all of them in there because they're all important, all equally loved. Friendly stream. All of us are queer individuals in one way or another. And
Some of us in many ways.
And some of us in many ways. And we
Gotta catch them all.
creating safe spaces for people like us. So I think it's relatively easy to say. No hate speech, no homophobia, no racism, no transphobia. We have two amazing mods, the wonderful Nikki, Bespectacled Man, and Michelle, Feline Trickster, who support us on what we do and will hit you with the ban hammer faster than you can think.
No turfs, no Tories.
Yep. So, that said...
Otherwise, we're very welcoming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that.
That said, we're friendly. Everyone here is friendly. They're lovely. Have a chat, get engaged. It's all wonderful. So... For those of you who are new, I think you probably need a little bit of a recap.
I need a bit of a
And
recap.
for the ones who attend every week.
Last week, our friends inadvertently ended up in another realm. The realm of dust and shadow, a mystical place of dark, fading light and strange creatures, of which one of our characters, the wonderful Aisling, draws her power and is connected to her warlock patron, the ever strange and enigmatic Alabaster. Whilst there, they met an equally strange and enigmatic creature, a giant six-armed woman named Thronesblade, who showed them around a little bit, asked them a lot of questions about how they got there, engaged and probably revealed possibly a little bit more about the mysteries of the realm and how confusing it truly is. Whilst there, Thronesblade showed them what looked like an incursion, someone trying to break into this realm from outside, a giant red crack in the sky that was not supposed to be there. Through guesstimation, they worked out that it had been there a couple of weeks, possibly around the time that the heroes defeated an ancient Fey god known as an AL that had set them upon their latest adventure to try and discover the source of the Sky Shield, a magical field of energy that keeps all the floating islands of the scattered lands up and the monsters below away. Thronesblade sent them back to their own bodies, allowing them to speculate and theorize on what possibly it all might mean. Whilst crossing ideas, they bounced at the idea that the person behind, or one of the people behind the number of mysteries that they're dealing with, might be the strange and reclusive Pyron Pyrus, a Fire Ganassi local landlord who has recently returned after a 15-year absence following his wife's death. Without any proof to this, they followed two lines of questioning. One, a box which they had received, a gift that they had not intended to receive, was taken back to their friend Lute, a shopkeeper and entrepreneur, who said that he recognised it and would look into it further to see who bought the item and where it had been. The second, Aisling and Eugene, went to talk to Rebecca and explain their theories around Pyrus and what had happened to them. Rebecca agreed to keep a closer eye on Pyron and would let them know if she found anything out. These two little, investigations started. Our friends gathered their things together, sorted themselves out, and got ready to head out on their actual mission. First stop to the cairn, the giant mountain that is the centre of the island that makes up the main body of Cloud's Cairn itself, in order to find the Crythoric, a race of crystalline creatures who may have the information they need. It is early morning. You have just passed the outer gate and you're heading out in towards farmlands to the west of the city. I think, Rock, you said you were in the driver's seat?
Yep.
There is enough room for all three of you up there. If anybody wants to sit in the back, you can do. There is a small window you can open to chat to the driver at the same time. If you,
I think Aisling's going to sit up front because she wants to see all the stuff.
That sounds good. Eugene, are you going to crowd with them at the front, or are you going to sit inside?
I think Eugene will be sitting inside reading a book.
Cool.
He'll be at the window seat reading.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so chill.
I know.
The day begins well enough. You are plodding along, seeing the scenery. The farmsteads quickly give way to open fields, and forests start to get thicker and thicker as you get further away from the actual civilization around you. There are a few people on the road. Some say hello as they go past, others mind their own business. Mostly human, as Cloud's Cairn is mostly made up of humans and city-born. And a few other races as well as you pass. So I'm just going to turn this down ever so slightly. A bit louder than I intended.
It's nice though.
It is. It's very pleasant.
It sounds like the kind of rain noise stuff I put on to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Don't
Chill.
fall asleep on us here.
Oh.
That'd be fun.
No,
Fun
I've got
name.
an iced coffee that'll keep me alive.
Yeah, good stuff. You are mostly on your own, heading away from the direction that most people at this time of day are going for. Most farmers bringing their goods in for the market and for sale. Most people who live outside the city making their way into their jobs and the like. I will have... Is anyone keeping a watch as you go?
I know I'm looking at a lot of stuff because I'm going to want to try and sort of internally map where we're going. So maybe I would.
Yeah, make me a perception check, please.
Okie dokie.
Or a survival if you have that as well, because that might help you.
They're both the same, so I'll do survival.
Survival, amazing. Rooney
Nice.
just said, "Oh
Dirty
no, someone
20.
left Nerogwin in the rain." It's like, trust me, his complaints would be much louder if Nerogwin were here and got wet.
Ooh, we'd be in trouble.
So you are looking around. Sorry, what did you get?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20 is good. You're actually able to kind of guide Rock in advance a little bit. You're kind of like, okay, well, that trail coming off the main road looks like it's quite well trod, so we might be able to shave off a little bit of time if we do that. Guide them through the woodlands and stuff like that. You notice a number of creatures kind of keeping just out of sight and out of edge. Like things like you see elk, you see like birds and for normal forest animals that you do. At one point you do see a bear that kind of comes into the middle of the trail, kind of like that whole sort of like that moment where you're both looking at each other. And it kind of thinks better of taking on 2 horses and 3 people and a caravan, and just kind of trundles off by itself.
Yeah, you better run.
These horses are hardcore.
The horses are really very relaxed and very chilled. Nothing seems to sort of generally spook them.
What are their names again? I know we learned they had names.
Did
I
I?
can't remember.
Did
what
we?
Everyone you said they had names.
I don't remember that.
I do not
Oh.
remember that, but that doesn't necessarily mean it didn't happen. It's just
I'm
not-
sure
Maybe
I would
I
have
checked
written
that.
down horse names.
That seems like important information to me.
That does. Seems like one of the
Very
things
true.
I would have written down on my session notes from my clever pad from Theo.
Me too. Ooh.
What are their names, Chris?
Yes.
We didn't ask Luke.
You didn't ask. They probably just.
Does that mean we can
horses.
name them?
Horse A and Horse B.
Well,
How dare.
I mean, I think if Luke didn't tell us, I think we should at least choose some names. I mean, they're creatures. We can't just call them Horse A and Horse B.
Make a quick perception check.
Everyone?
Anyone who engaged with the horses at this point.
Oh God.
19.
19. They
I'm
actually-
too busy waving at people going past.
on the
I'm too busy reading.
yeah on their on the general sort of gear, brain melt. Sorry, I know the name for that, but the general gear. There's actually bridle. Thank you. On the collar piece of it, there's actually a little brass plaque on each of them, and one of them is called Duster, and the other one's called Toby.
Oh! Okay. That's going to be the most important note I make.
These animals, of which we're probably not going to have.
Oh
much
God,
of.
we named them. Now they're definitely going to die.
Yep.
They can't.
Sorry that there isn't a box on the sheet for important pet names.
Horse names. Why isn't there a horse names section?
It's important
Yo.
NPCs. That counts.
Oh yeah, that's true. That counts.
Yeah, but I want to I'm going to make a horse box.
As
she's-
you get on towards lunchtime, you probably kind of starting to get a little weary. I mean, like long journeys like this do, like, particularly on carriages and stuff, they're not the most comfortable. Rock, are you happy staying in command of the horses, or did you want to swap out with someone so you could rest and stretch your legs a little bit?
Is it still raining?
It is still raining. In fact, it's getting a little heavier.
Then no. For God's sake, somebody take over. I am drenched and I don't like the rain.
Aisling will take over.
Fine, you do it.
Okay, do I need to do an animal
Where are we
handling?
going? Why didn't they tell me it rains here?
If you
Oh.
pass, if Rock passes you the ring, you can
Yeah.
do so with advantage.
I will.
Amazing.
Of
Yes,
course, you've heard
please.
the ring.
13.
13. It's not particularly high DC. These are very well trained horses who are used to pulling like carts and things. They're fine. They're easy to kind of lead around. In fact, if anything, they kind of step around stuff very easily. They seem to guide the cart occasionally around things that might pull, make it uncomfortable for them. Yes, Rooney does make a very good point. Most horses are quite rare in these lands because, as she says, a lot of them just run off the sides, or a lot of them just weren't brought up when the islands kind of drifted upwards.
Oh.
They are around, but they're not as common as they would be in our world. So these ones are probably worth a few pennies.
Special horses.
It does get towards mid-afternoon. You haven't really stopped. You've probably eaten some rations on the go. It is starting to get to the point where you probably need to consider camping for the first night. So you probably do need to find a spot. You're a little off the trail at this point. You're definitely going in the right direction
Bless you.
because of that wonderful roll earlier. But it is going to take you a little while to kind of get to another town. Be another day before you get to the first village, which is your first sort of point.
Could I use my wildernessness to see if I could see somewhere that looks relatively safe?
Yeah, make a survival check.
Okay. Nice. 25.
25, yeah. You kind of like look around, look at the canopy, look at the way things are, look for like markations for people might have come off the trail before, and probably around about 5-ish, you kind of like, okay, I'll pull off here. You go down like this sort of slight open area. It's more like a thicket, like a pull where it's been pulled back and opens into a little glade. It's a perfect place to set up camp if you want to. Although there's space for you to sleep on the caravan, you will still need to set up campfires and things.
Okay. I'll because I'm still in control of the horses, I'll sort of take us into that bit then.
Cool. And you do. Pulling up. The cart pulls to a halt, and the three of you can set up camp, or look around the local area, or do whatever you feel like you need to do.
I think Aisling might sort of map or want to be aware of just the immediate area that they're in. She won't wander off too far. She just wants to get an idea.
I feel like Aisling probably has a map of Clouskern main island, like when, like,
Yeah.
the sort of thing that Aisling would have done when she prepared to come here the first time.
In her magic book.
Yeah.
Can I use my? Oh no, that would work. I will just start to try and make some kind of shelter using the fabric from the wagon or whatever, so that we can actually light a fire and get something going, because I'm wet and cold and it's annoying me.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, you're easily done. I won't even need to make you guys roll for that, really. I think there's enough equipment to set up properly. It's probably got like a bit that pulls out from the side and like proper legs that kind of say this is a traveller's caravan, so designed for going a little further.
Cool. I shall set up fire.
For this. Yeah. You start a campfire. You kind of between the three of you, kind of like get a few bits and pieces. Start food, getting it together.
I'm going to set up like little stools, places for people to sit. If there isn't, if there are such things, or like little tree stumps, and then I'm going to get like some cushions and blankets from the carriage and put them out, like so that people have something to sit around the fire.
So rather than camping, you're ending up glamping.
Yeah, we are.
Well, yeah, I've done the practical stuff. I lit a fire.
Yeah.
If anyone's watched Parks and Rec, we're Tom Haverford camping.
It is around about this time that the weather does get a little heavier and wetter, and you can just about hear the start of thunder and lightning kind of on the edge of the horizon. It kind of really changes the atmosphere in the camp. Kind of makes it kind of either very exciting or a little creepy, depending on your character's perception.
Ashling's loving it.
Yeah, I think Rock really loves the thunder and lightning.
I think Eugene's a little unnerved by it.
Aw.
This is, I mean, Rock's been out and about, but I don't think Rock's probably done like a lot of rough camping and things. But I feel like this is probably Eugene's first proper camping trip.
Aw.
I don't know. Is it the sort of thing that Albert would have done with him?
I feel like he's been camping a couple of times, but not like out in the wilderness, like
Like backyard camping.
yeah,
Where Mum can keep an eye on all of you.
where you can run into the house if you need to wee.
Yeah. So, all of you do need a rest, even Aisling, who, although can assist on any watches that she's not part of. I don't maintain you need a 12-hour period in D&D for resting. That's
12?
just silly. I think 8 hours is fine between you.
Is 12 the standard?
Well, it kind of works out roughly about that between, like, breaking up so everyone gets 4 hours either side of their watch and stuff.
That's nuts.
I think between the three of you, you can kind of calculate, get enough sleep and calculate, like, how much time you need to sort of prep and rest and stuff. So, all three of you do need to take a watch.
Okay.
You can choose the order in which these things happen, and let me know who would like to go first.
I think
tired.
Eugene will probably take first watch because he doesn't go to sleep early anyway.
Can I assist with all of them that I'm not doing?
You being there lowers the DC ever so slightly for.
Okay, yeah, I'll just-
Yeah.
I'll hang out with whoever is doing the watch then.
Yeah. And Rock, I think you just drag yourself back into the caravan and get the first bit of sleep for the night. Roll me a perception check, please.
12.
12. You don't notice anything particularly untoward on your watch. It gets very dark, and kind of the light around your fire even with your dark vision, you don't feel like you can see as far as you can in this forest. Mostly because you're kind of just not quite used to it. No, more than anything like that. You're not a city kid, but similarly, you've not spent a lot of time in deep wilderness. What you probably do see is some like night animals, like some like bats and things, kind of like trying to drift and get through the trees without getting too soaked in what is becoming quite a heavy storm. So
I think I'm going to try and, even though I'm relaxing because I need to rest, I'll try and sort of comfort Eugene occasionally if there's a big thunder boom.
Yeah, I think if there's any like big booms or like big cracks of lightning, he is like a little bit like jumpy.
Aww.
I think it's all quite fresh and new, and I think after the first couple of times you do, I think Eugene's kind of now faced some quite horrific things, so a little bit of thunder doesn't actually scare him as much as it would have done when he started this adventure. Is there anything the two of you want to discuss whilst Rock is asleep?
I'm not sure. What do you think, Eugene?
There was something I was going to talk to you about actually.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Well, I mean, you don't have to answer this, and you can tell me if this is too personal a question. But I was just wondering if you'd ever been in love before.
Ooh. I don't think so. It's romantic relationship kind of things aren't really my deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really something I've ever, you know, pursued or been jealous of other people having. So, yeah, no. So no, not really. I mean, I love people, but I don't think I'm in love with anyone or have been. Why? 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 I mean, I think I know why, but why are you asking?
I just wondered. I don't know. I just wondered if you could shed some light on what it was supposed to feel like. But if you haven't ever been in love, then
Well, I
I
mean, it
guess you
feels
don't know
different for
either.
everyone, doesn't it? Like, I don't
It
think
does.
there's one. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's one version of it. There's not like one category that you have to fit into. I think everyone feels it differently, and if it feels right for you, then that's okay. It doesn't have to be the same as everyone else's love.
Interesting.
Are you
Okay.
thinking maybe you're, you know, feeling that kind of way about someone?
Um. Well, I don't know if I would go that far. I mean, I just I like him. I mean, we both know who I'm talking about, right?
Well, yeah, I hope so.
Right?
Gris, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, good, good. I thought I don't really pay that much attention to a lot of things, and I was, yeah, okay, good, good. It's still the one that, cool. Oh, I mean, he's such a good egg. Like, if you were going to be feeling that way about anyone, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm not in your brain, so
Yeah. I've just never had those kinds of feelings about someone before, and well, I'm not even sure if I am having those feelings. I mean, I like him. I like spending time with him. I like I like hearing what he has to say. He talks a lot, but I don't ever get bored of hearing him talk. Whereas some people, I do get bored of hearing them talk.
I mean, it seems like you're ticking a lot of boxes
Really?
already.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what else is there?
Well, I don't know. It's just I thought that there was supposed to be like, I don't know,
Oh, well, like in
fireworks
stories where
and
you just sort of go like, ugh, and then fall over and you're all on your fainting couch and in love and crying or something.
well, yeah, maybe not quite like that.
Oh,
But yeah, I thought I would be more like sure, you know?
is anyone like? Is that a thing that actually happens, or is that just a storybook thing?
Well, I don't know. My mum always told me the story of when she met my dad, and she said she knew straight away.
I think that's a bit weird. No offense to your mum or nothing, but I think that's a bit weird. Like, what if you see someone and you think, oh, love at first sight, and they're like a dick? Like, what? That don't make any sense.
Yeah,
And what
I
if,
guess
like, you
so.
even think you like them for the first day, and then the next day there's like some adverse stuff happening, and all their dickishness comes out, and you weren't expecting it, but you know, love at first sight. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't think it's like a contract.
Yeah, I know, but I think it takes people time.
Okay.
But really, I mean, probably I'm going to wake Rock up in a minute. He's going to hate it, but maybe you should ask him later on, or whilst you're passing in a minute. I
I
reckon
don't think
Rock's
it's
going to have
really
a
the
better
kind of
idea.
conversation you have in passing, is it?
Maybe not. Maybe
Morning.
not.
By the way,
Good point.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask him.
I feel like Rock's going to have had more experience with that kind of stuff than I am. Not saying he's a slag or anything, but like, I just maybe like, yeah, because I've not really felt that kind of thing before.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll ask him. It feels a bit awkward. It's
I
kind of
know.
like asking my dad.
I'm sure your dad's got very strong opinions on.
Ooh.
He's got strong opinions on everything.
Yeah, like Eugene, just like don't put too much pressure on yourself to know or have the answer, because it's all subjective, isn't it?
Okay, thanks.
I
Okay.
love that. I love this conversation. I think it's beautiful. If you guys are comfortable and there's nothing else you want to do, who would like to take second watch?
Sorry, I'm laughing at Nikki's thing in the chat. How did you sleep? Also, what is love?
I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night.
Mid yawn.
It's like a robot.
What? I will take second watch as there's no one else.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll hang about and help because
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep. So.
Yeah, which means you get to do breakfast, of course, as third watch.
Oh no! No one's experienced Ashling's cooking. Y'all ain't ready.
It's cheese, isn't it? It's more cheese.
It's just heated cheese.
Cool.
Sounds
So,
good.
Rock, would you please roll me a perception check for your second watch?
Sure. Let's get a character sheet up.
Good old-fashioned Dungeon and Dragoning here. Actual.
I know.
like,
Oh,
long
yeah.
rests.
Oh, good.
Rolling for
18.
watches.
How was that, sorry?
18.
18. So, I think whilst the two of you are sort of having a conversation, you kind of like casting your eye out and just beyond the fire and just keeping an eye on things. And also, because of your mental fortitude, you're also pinging just kind of your thoughts out just to see if there's anything to worry about. And you get hit for a second. It's very faint and it's very confused, but it does feel like a sentience, almost like an echo of a sentience. I think you look out into the night and both of you see what looks like a soft blue glow walking through the woods. As you both lean out of the firelight, just so that it's behind you and your eyes adjust, you make out what looks like a long hooded figure carrying what looks like a lantern, only they're ever so slightly translucent, and they seem to be looking for something.
How far away are they?
I'd probably say about 60, 70 feet away. Don't seem to have noticed you all, even though you've got a firelight there.
Do I see this, or just Rock see this?
Once Rock points it out to you, you see it easily. I mean, with your dark vision, you can clearly make out a humanoid figure that's ever so slightly translucent.
Oh.
Right. Well, that's interesting. I'm a little torn here. They don't seem to really be noticing or interested in us whatsoever. So part of me wants to just let them go about their way, but they're very interesting, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're well pretty, but they're not.
It seems like a Fey thing. Is it a Fey thing? Have you seen this before? Do you know this? I don't know.
Have I?
You have, I don't know, maybe a history check for the things and...
The forest anglerfish, as Rooney is saying. Oh, I've completely rejected all knowledge of anything that happened in the past because that was a crit fail.
Yep, that's fine. You are too... I think even to the point where you forget to answer, Rock.
I don't even hear Rock. I'm just like, ooh, the anglerfish is working.
Yeah, anglerfish, definitely.
It's not drawing you towards it or anything like that. It literally does seem to be making its own way through the forest. And after a while, it just goes. And the forest goes back to being dark. What you do notice is, as soon as it's gone, the sounds of the forest return. And you hadn't even realised it had got so quiet.
Creepy.
Ooh, that is a bit creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we'll just keep an eye out for that, for the rest of the evening, and maybe.
Well, if we bump into anyone tomorrow, maybe we could ask them.
Oh, maybe it's a ghost that haunts these woods.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping. Shit, I don't want to wake up
Oh,
Eugene.
that's
That's
interesting.
what I'm hoping.
But yeah, I mean, Eugene may know something about this, but oh yes.
We don't want to scare him. He's already been scared of the thunder. We don't want to be like, oh, lol, there's ghosts now.
But yes, I'm not going to wake him up. Just sort of shake him awake and yell, "Hi, there's a ghost."
No, don't do that.
No,
Okay.
I won't do that. No, that don't.
Oh, I was telling myself.
Ashling, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't.
Okay. I won't.
But well, let's just keep an eye out for the rest of the night, because if it comes back, we probably need to. Well, I don't know. But let's just keep watch on that one, because that was a little odd. Also, the silence was a little unnerving.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's really weird.
No, didn't realise how loud it is out here at night. To be honest, there's quite a lot of
Oh,
sort of
quite
animal
nice.
noises and things.
About that sort of time, that there's a shriek, and both of you jump until you realise
Jump!
it's a fox.
What was that unearthly scream, and why is it here?
It's just a fox, but they sound.
Has it been murdered?
Nope, that's just what they do.
What, just
little
for
shit.
fun?
Yup.
It sounds like someone's strangling a small child.
Yep. Used to hear them all the
Why?
time, but every time scares the shit
They
out of
just
me.
do it to torment people? But I
Probably.
didn't realise they were such vicious little bastards. So they just scream randomly.
Yeah, just walking around, having a nice time, doing a scream, going back to their life.
Nature is really terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Rock.
I mean, imagine if you
Nature
were out
is
here.
terrifying.
I mean, imagine if you were out here on your own. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I used to do when I was a kid. Scares the crap out of you.
wait, you used to be out in the forest on your own?
Well, yeah, we'd sort of. When I was in the little orphanage thing with all the other stray kids, we'd sort of sneak out occasionally and have a wander in the woods.
And listen to the blood-curdling
Well, we
screams
thought-
of foxes.
We thought there was like murders happening in the woods, and we'd run back, also screaming. And then,
Understandable.
yeah, and some of the grown-ups were like, "That's foxes," and we were like, "What the hell? Why?"
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a sort of a flash of a memory for Aisling of crying into a large poofy dress with an apron, with gentle furry paws stroking her horns and hair. One of the few moments. Growing up, the matron was always kind but firm, but it was one of those moments I think is quite a fond memory.
Yeah, Ashling's orphanage story isn't the typical tragic, everything was dreadful, orphanage story.
Fair enough. Well, okay. Well, I'm wide awake now, so I'll just keep watch for a little longer. I
All right.
listen to the calming sounds of nature.
Delicate noises of wildlife.
Yes, quite. Good. Right. But I'm just going to put another log on the fire. I'm just going to put some more fire on the fire. More fire on the fire.
More fire on the fire. That's
I'm going to put more fire on the fire.
technically
All right.
wrong. If missing out some of the stages of that.
Yeah.
It carries on. Your watch sort of rolls on towards the end of when you need to kind of get some more sleep, otherwise you'll be worth nothing, which will leave poor Aisling on her own for a bit.
I think
Ashley don't mind.
Rock will attempt to stay up with Aisling for a while, and then we'll just fall asleep, sort of sitting nearby.
I keep telling him, I'm like, Rock, go to bed. Rock, go to bed. Rock, I keep moving his head off me, like, go to bed.
Sleeps really well. If you catch him at the right moment, you can draw a moustache on him. It's brilliant.
I say it in my head because I don't want to wake anyone up, and I'm like, no, I will get killed dead. No.
I think eventually Aisling will persuade Rock to go and get the second half of his night's sleep.
Go to bed. You will be grumpy if you don't go to bed.
I'm fine. Stop poking me. I'm going to
Go
bed.
to bed.
I'm going to very carefully go to bed and make sure I don't wake Eugene.
Which leaves Aisling alone. Well, as alone as Aisling ever is.
I'm never alone.
You leave Aisling alone with her thoughts. Yeah. Wait, alone with her thoughts and her demon in her head. Got it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Could you roll me a perception check?
Yes. 18.
18. The night sounds give away to early dawn. You can start to hear the first birds coming into the evening.
Why is everything screaming?
just the way it is. The storm slowly gives way, and the rain lets up, and it's still a little wet, but it's much nicer than it has been all night. You kind of move around a little bit, trying to stretch and kind of get there, but you don't notice anything untowards at this time.
Yeah, I've been looking out for the ghost, I think.
Yeah, I don't think you see her again. Just that's probably. And I think maybe there's a part of you that kind of like, okay, well, she's obviously gone through whatever motions she's going through, and then that's her for the evening. Aisling. Hi.
Hi, morning.
So, I had a close look at everything you asked me to look at. Ciphered through those memories where you went to the realm of dust and shadows, met the throne's blade and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have feelings about it. There's something familiar about her, but I can't quite place why.
But, right. Do you think you know her, or you've heard about her, or do you not know?
I think it feels more like I know her. Like there was something familiar. Like we've met, but I can't quite remember where or how or what she is to me. Just.
Well, I asked her about if she knew you, and she said she didn't.
Well, that doesn't sound like she remembers me.
No, which is a bit weird.
No, clearly, I mean, if I was as powerful as we suspect I was when I was in the realm of dust and shadows,
as you
I would be a
suspect
name
you were,
she'd
but
remember.
okay.
Yeah. What?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
It does give pause, and I am worried about that incursion she mentioned because
It didn't look great.
no. I mean, I don't really know all the ins and outs of the ways and the paths and things like that, but I do know that if you punch your way into one like that, it's going to cause problems. Not only for the way that you're punching your way into, but wherever you punch from.
Right.
Think about it this way, like, if you and Eugene were to try and cast your magic at the same point, it would have kind of unexpected, unknowable consequences.
She immediately wants to do that.
Now do that, but much bigger. Like God level bigger. And that's pretty much what you're talking about.
What, the big crack in the sky is that?
Could damage the multiverse itself.
Oh, good! So just a small issue. God's sake.
But it does seem that Throne's Blade at least seems to have it under control for the time being, so maybe if we keep an ear out for what on earth we can find this side and see if it's connected to what we're trying to do.
From what she and the little dust imps were saying, it sounds like that big old split in the sky is getting bigger, though. So she's not got it fully under control.
But I think we at least have time to look into it. And stopping the world from falling out of the sky, probably our priority right now.
Oh, for God's sake, why is everything ending all the time? What even happened before we came along? Who did it? Where are they?
Well, from what I understand, Eugene's father.
Oh, yeah. Why can't he fix it? All right, never mind. Okay. All right, just keep trying. Just like try and rack your brain, and try and remember if
If
you
I
ever
remember
saw
anything, I will
Roseblade.
let you know. And I know the other two are cautious about me, but I am definitely on your side. The whole keeping you alive keeps me alive.
I know. They just worry, you know. Like I think they're like okay with you, but because they've never like met you or spoke to you, and they just see me flailing around and saying, "Oh, it's just my demon," they get a bit, maybe a wee bit worried.
Yes, well, I can understand that. Well, maybe we can figure a way to sort that out at some point.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool.
Well, I should go back
What, to stop us making noise? What does he mean?
I should go back to contemplating. Shout if you need me.
All right, later.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
And you're left to
I
your
think Ashling's having a terrible influence on Alabaster.
I feel like the two of them have a terrible influence on each other. The more powerful
That's why I
both
love
of
them both
get,
so much.
yeah, the more like each other they're becoming. It's
Yeah.
it's the worst kind
Yep.
of power couple dynamic. It really is.
Perfect. All right.
Dawn's fingers start to crawl through the sky, and the reds and oranges of dawn start to peek behind some of the thick, heavy clouds that you see on the horizon, just above the tree line. The shadows grow shorter. That sort of wonderful sort of blue light of early dawn kind of comes through. And you think it's probably roughly about time you start preparing food for everybody. Your night's rest comes to an end. Everybody, if you haven't, I mean, you should be fine, but you can take a long rest if you feel like you need it. If you used any spells yesterday that you didn't.
Yeah, I'm having one.
Did I?
I don't think anybody did yet, so I think you're all fine. And you, one by, I think eventually, Aisling, you're probably woken by Aisling more than gently woken up by...
The smell of significant burning and a lot of noise of Ashling swearing at eggs is what wakes you up.
I think Rock
Hey,
wakes.
how does anyone do this? Why are they so wet?
God, Rock's going to wake up, and I think just Eugene just hears Rock go, "Oh God, I think I preferred the screaming."
Wait, what's screaming?
Oh God!
Who was screaming?
Oh,
Don't
foxes!
scare him!
Apparently, foxes are horrific. They scream like a child is being murdered. I mean, I thought it's supposed to be peaceful and sort of calming to be out in nature. It was utterly terrifying. I don't know. Honestly, I mean, Aisling says they do it all the time. They just terrify people by screaming in the night. I mean, it's a good thing you were asleep. Honestly, it was horrific.
Just for fun, or is there a?
Well, I assume so. Yes, I think they just hate people. I guess. I mean,
I feel like Eugene would have heard a few foxes in his time on the farm and stuff. Or is he just teasing Rock at this point?
It's just
Oh,
I think they just hate people. I think perhaps they're demonic in some way. They just terrorize people at night. Anyway, I mean. Oh, and I think there was a ghost as well, but they went away. It's fine.
you
Anyway,
said not to tell
Wait,
him.
what?
well, it kind of went over there. It wasn't interested in us. I think it was
So
a ghost.
you're going to sit here for a few minutes and tell me about screaming foxes, and then, oh, by the way, there was a ghost. No big deal.
Yeah, it was over there, and it came and went. No, I mean. Also, it didn't scream or anything. It seemed perfectly nice.
It's a quiet ghost.
What did it
No,
look
it
like?
was. Well, it was kind of a sort of blue humanoid with a lantern kind of thing, like a very typical kind of storybook. Oh, I'm looking for my lost love or something ridiculous, but it seemed perfectly pleasant. I mean, it didn't wave or anything. It's not like we chatted, but it was over there and it didn't come towards us, and it didn't seem to even notice us, to be honest. So yeah, so it went away, but that was before the foxes screamed. So yes, those foxes. Anyway, Right, should we go and see what Aisling has set alight? Because I can smell burning and it's not food.
Ow! She
Yeah.
burnt her
Oh
hand.
god. Oh god. Someone get the first aid kit.
Yeah, take 1d4 fire damage.
No!
You
What
singed
do
your
we see
fur.
when we leave the tent? What is the state of Aisling?
A disgrace. A disgrace. There's eggshells literally everywhere, and she's tried her best to cook some eggs, but she couldn't figure out how to make them less wet, so she put oats on the eggs, but that didn't work. Instead, it just burnt. And there's a few eggs on a plate, but she dropped them first, so they've got some dirt on them. And that's pretty much what's happening at the moment.
Rock is literally going to just go. Oh my god! What happened? Were we attacked?
Oh, there's a bear.
Oh, did
There was a bear.
the bear put the oats in those poor eggs? Was it?
Bears can't cook.
So it was you who put the oats in the eggs.
No, they can't. They try, but they can't.
Right. So what you're saying is a bear came, tried to cook us breakfast, and then left? Because what, he was so embarrassed by his poor attempt?
Right, okay. I tried to make breakfast, and I don't understand what any of this stuff does. So, but bon appetit.
Well, hey, you tried. I'm sure there's something edible here that.
I'm just going to lift up
test
the
it, 'cause I'm
egg
not.
with the grass and sand in it and just sort of twirl it around a little bit and just go,
Yeah, maybe not that.
I pick
but
a wood louse off of it. Like,
oh, lovely.
low fat, high protein.
Do you know what? I'm just going to have fruit this morning. I think I've got a couple of pieces of fruit. Perhaps we can have a large. Maybe we can have a large lunch on the way. Maybe.
Yeah.
And we could just leave the eggs for the murderous foxes.
Yep, that was the plan.
Good. I mean, I do appreciate you trying, but I have to keep this figure, so I'm just going to have fruit.
Right, I'm not going to be. I officially resign as cook. I'm not doing that again because it was stressful and I burnt my finger, and eggs are the worst.
You've also got some oats in your. Never mind, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
I have
Okay.
a general wisdom check from everybody.
What?
Oh, it's 3.
A 3.
Ooh.
Oh no, I like 4.
Nice.
I actually did all right. I got a 15.
Nice.
Hey, got 10.
10. Eugene, as you're kind of like helping clean up the mess that is the breakfast, you're kind of like, in hindsight, it probably would have made more sense for Aisling to do the middle watch, because then both you and Rock could have had a full 8 hours, and then you and Rock, who are better with breakfast, could have got up.
Yeah, next time maybe you should take the middle shift.
Yeah, I agree. Good plan.
Good. So I was telling Eugene about the ghost.
Yeah, what was
I
the deal
told
with that, by the way?
What do I just thought we were going
Sorry.
to tell him in the middle of the night? I mean,
No, but not like first thing in the morning either.
Well, Rock sort of did gloss over it, if I'm honest. He was far more concerned with telling me about the foxes.
Oh, the
Oh, yeah, he
screaming!
was
I was
well
telling
scared of the
Eugene about the
foxes.
screaming. I mean, that it was nightmarish. Honestly, nightmare fuel. It was terrific.
So I've heard.
It really was.
But the ghost, not so much, apparently.
The ghost was pretty chill. The ghost
See?
was just like walking.
See?
She was just having a little wander. We didn't do anything. We kept an eye on her, but she just sort of walked around and then poof, disappeared. I didn't see her again.
Okay, you didn't see her again, no?
Nothing else weird happened. Just
The silence. Oh, the silence. Oh, but
Oh,
when the
yeah.
ghost was walking, everything was silent. Like
Yeah,
even
all the animals
just-
stopped.
Not just the screaming, even the little sort of chirping and sort of popping noises and things that you hear. It's like the whole forest was just quiet.
Yeah, it was really
and it was
weird.
definitely a ghost.
Well, I mean, we don't know. She was like translucent and
Yeah.
blue.
And walking with a lantern, it was all, like I say, it was a bit on the nose, to be honest. It was a bit like, I mean, if you're going to haunt, you...
Yeah, she might as well have just gone like. Ooh.
I know. But like I say, it seemed harmless, so, let her get it out of her system, I guess.
You can have a history check if you want to, Eugene, if you're interested.
If you care enough.
Oh no!
Apparently, I
just
do
been, like,
care because I got a
fine.
natural 20.
And
Oh, wow.
Oh!
It kind of goes
So
to
that's
you.
27.
You guys, nice, 27. So you guys are cleaning up and
Jesus.
you're discussing this whole thing with the ghost, and you're like, well, from what you've read and what you've sort of uncovered in any research that you've kind of talked about with like you don't go in for the whole necromancy thing. It's not your school of wizardry, but you do know that there are quite extensive books on the research of the undead, and you've dipped into some of them. Leaving her alone was probably the smartest thing these two could have done. If they'd have interfered with her passage, it could have turned nasty, and ghosts can be very dangerous.
We did a smart.
Yeah, it's
Well, only because she didn't look interesting enough.
it's probably a very good thing that you've just left her to it. From what
Yeah?
I've read about ghosts, they can get pretty angry if you
Oh.
mess with their...
I mean, she seemed really nice.
For an amorphous blue glow over there.
But yeah, I mean,
Yep. Oh, she seems lovely.
like I say, I mean, it's not like she waved. But anyway, so it wasn't that big a deal, see?
No, she was doing her thing. We were doing our thing.
Foxes was
Eh.
screaming in the night.
Oh, Rock. What is love?
Baby,
What?
don't hurt me.
What? Yeah.
I'm leaving.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
It is the universal law.
God damn, Nikki was on it as well.
What do you mean? What is love? What?
Oh, we were talking about it last night.
No, we won't. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What?
Can I insight to see if I should genuinely not talk about it, or
I'm happy
whether I
for
can?
I mean, how good is the insight? I mean, is Eugene standing behind Rock going,
I mean, it's a 21, so how?
yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I don't think Eugene's trying to deceive you. I think Eugene is probably trying to persuade you not to do that.
Like genuinely?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then I'll just I'll detour it then and be like, oh, me, Aisling, was just thinking of what is it?
What? Love?
Yes.
Wait, I mean, it's one of the great questions of the universe. What is love?
You're smart.
Well, can I at least have a cup of coffee before we... I mean,
I mean, you guys are kind of setting up the camp as you're doing this.
I'm happy to answer. But it's quite a question. I mean, it's like me asking you, what is magic?
Well, it's like sparkly magical shit, innit?
Well, that's quite a simple question,
I
actually.
think even
Yeah.
you think you hear a sigh in the back of your mind.
Fine, ashy magical shit.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's come back to that when we have a little time to kind of sit and chat. If that's
All right. Well, we're going to be getting in the cart in a minute. We'll talk about it in a minute.
sure.
You guys get yourself sorted out. Rock manages to get his coffee. And who is leading the cart today?
I suppose it's Eugene's turn.
Cool. Make me an animal handling check. And I think if Aisling passes you the ring, you can do so with advantage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Eugene is proficient in animal handling.
Oh.
Just
Ooh.
and I got a natural 20.
Nice.
You are
a
at one
19
with
and
these
a 20.
horses.
Oh my
Nice.
god.
So
Buster and Toby love you.
it is. It's almost like a symbiotic relationship. You kind of are guiding the cart in a way that they're happy with, and they are in turn pulling it around things that they're spotting. It is really smooth. A very smooth ride.
I love the idea that if it's not a natural 20, they are literally just ploughing through shit and just be like, fuck it.
Well, I mean, they're always. I mean, horses will. I mean, I'm not the biggest horse guy, but I kind of assume that they will do their best to try and avoid things that will hurt them and the like.
Well, I mean, they're still living beings.
And with a cart, and particularly being trained cart horses, they'll be looking for ways to kind of make sure their load isn't pulled in certain ways.
I like to think they're just like, meh, they're not so great. This one's not so great. We'll just go through the holes. Fuck it.
Well, that's the kind of thing. If you've got a really low roll or things, it would have been a fight, and it would have taken you longer to get where you needed to go. Because it's such a good roll, you actually managed to shave off some time on your journey. Like, you seem to be making a really good pace there, and the horses seem to be quite happy. I will have a perception check off of someone who is not Eugene.
I do.
I will.
Good.
Ashley,
Because Eugene is not good at perception.
13.
13. Okay. And sorry, what did you get, Rob?
Oh, I didn't roll. 8.
8. Cool.
Ooh.
Aisling, you're kind of plodding along. It gets to about mid-morning, and you're fairly certain you see something on the horizon, but it's there and gone. Something large and flying, but you don't it's not in your view long enough. It kind of ducks below, like, the edge of the tree line too quickly for you to pick up on it.
Oh, God. We've done watches. Is it time for the other part of Dungeons and Dragons now?
You carry on your journey, kind of plodding like further and further. And you get into like an open area where the road kind of spreads out a little bit and comes past like this little sort of cliffside area. And it's this time that you hear thunder, but there's not that much cloud in the sky. And then you hear it. There's a shriek, and something kind of dives down towards the cart, narrowly missing it as the horses pull and rear out the way. A huge red and purple bird with a beak as long as your arm, big fiery arms, kind of swoops round and comes up, preparing for another strike.
Ah!
I will just pop everywhere where they need to be.
Yeah.
I would
God.
like you all to
No!
roll initiative.
We were going to talk about existential love crises.
You can still talk about existential love crises, but first of all, you have to fight the monster.
Wild.
God damn it.
Oh, hang on. I'm on.
Yeah, while fighting.
Sorry, second, guys. There we go.
I'm assuming we're initiativing.
Oh yes, initiative.
Please, would you initiative for me?
Chris, I just need to step away for 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Bulba keeps stretching because she's really tired and keeps pushing my dice tray fully off the sofa.
Awesome, right. So, this creature looks like a giant, like condor sort of thing, like quite a large creature, like fiery red with purple, like crested
Have we got
feathers.
a picture of it?
I think I can probably arrange that. Bear with me 1 second.
Yes. Just because while Wayne's off as well, we can have a look at pretty pictures of terrifying birds. Oh, no, for God's sake.
It's for fun.
Can you guys see that?
I'm coming. Ooh, pretty.
Ooh.
Also,
That's
jacked. That
and
bird
deadly.
is jacked. That bird been getting gains.
Yeah.
Right. Let us start. I probably need to make sure I have that.
Initiative. Okay, got it.
Does match my hair. You're right.
So, it didn't roll particularly high on its initiative, which is good for you guys.
Neither did I.
That's right, you're a smart boy, not a fast boy. Okay, starting with Rock.
15.
Aisling?
12.
Eugene.
11.
Nice. So the good news is, you all go before it does.
Haha!
Ooh.
Rock, you are up first. It is currently probably about, say, 20 feet above the ground and sweeping back down towards you all.
Okay. I am going to... So as my bonus action... Actually, first of all, as my action, I am going to cast... Just want to check the distance on this, sorry.
No problem.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Press all the
Incorrect.
buttons! Keep all the buttons pressed!
I'm sorry.
No, it's worries. What sort of range are you looking at?
Okay, so I want to... 30 feet was what I was going to try, but...
I think it's outside
That's
of 30
outside
feet
of that.
right now. It does
Okay.
seem to be moving towards you, though. So if you want
Uh,
to hold your action if it gets closer.
Yeah.
Awesome. What are you
Actually,
holding?
can I hold... You can't hold a bonus action, can you?
No. Traditionally, no. You can only hold an action.
Okay.
What are you trying to cast?
So I was going to cast Bane on it.
No, I think Bane a bonus action. I thought it was an action for some reason.
No, but if I was going to hold an action, I was going to hold my bonus action for my dancing rapier.
Ah, okay. No, but you can throw your rapier out in preparation as a bonus action, and then use it from next round.
Yeah. So I will definitely do that. So as my bonus action, I will throw my rapier out, and it will hold its attack till it's within range.
Awesome. I need a sword token for you.
Just check the distance. Yeah. So as soon as it gets within 30 feet. So that's a bonus action, and then... Ta-da! Therewith.
No worries.
Actually, what I can do is, as my action, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on it.
Vicious Mockery. Yep. What's the range on
Which is
Vicious Mockery?
60 feet.
60 feet. Awesome. So just bear with me. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
So you should be able to control that sword there.
Yep.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. It needs to make a saving throw, doesn't it, for Vicious Mockery?
It does indeed. So it needs to a Wisdom saving throw.
It rolls a 16.
Just beats, yeah. So I don't think it takes anything then.
Not with Vicious Mockery, no.
Yeah. Oh well. That's fine. Yeah, but as my held action, I mean my bonus action, I've got my sword out anyway. So
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. That's a good first go, though. You're ready. You're ready for when they get there.
yeah.
Aisling, what would you like to do?
I am going to first. I'm assuming I can use my bonus action first, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can use a movement bonus, and normal action can happen in any order you want during your go.
Nice. I
Also,
will
you can
first
split
of
your
all.
movement as well. So remember that.
That's true. I'm going to stay put, and I will hex it first.
Cool.
with just a first level hex.
What is the range on Hex?
90 feet,
Wow.
so long as I can see them.
Yeah, I'd say that 90 feet hits from there. I'm abstracting a little bit, but yeah, it's just on the outer edge, so you can hex it from there.
Amazing. In that case, I shall hex it, and then I'm a blast it. I'm an eldritch blast it, because my range on that's 120. So,
Nice. Let's use
and
that
I'll
one.
agonizing blast it as well.
Yup. You always agonizing as a standard. It's one of the fun features of that one.
Yup.
Roll your dice to hit.
13 to hit.
13 is not enough, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Second blast.
Yeah, second blast. That's better. 19 to hit.
19 will definitely hit, yes.
Okay.
So its armor class is somewhere between 13 and 19.
Cool. Alright. Plus 2, plus 4. So 12 damage on that hit. Oh, wait, no, and I've got the hex, so I get necrotic damage as well.
You do, yes.
Which is an extra 3, so 15 damage.
15 damage, and it's force damage and necrotic, isn't it?
There was 3 necrotic and 12 force.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Bonus action. You are still on the cart. You can get off if you want to. It is moving at speed that you can plot. Jump down if you want to kind of spread out a little bit. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think I might hop down to about here.
Yeah.
Just to spread out a bit. And I kind of want to get away from the horses. I don't want to draw the bird to our precious horses.
That is a good plan. Eugene.
How high in the air is it?
About 20 foot at the moment.
Okay. And is the cart is still moving currently, right?
Slowly, but yeah, it is moving. The horses are starting to look like they might panic.
Okay. I think in that case, Eugene will cast. Wait, hang on. How far away am I? Eugene will summon Shadow Spawn.
Awesome. Do you want to drag your shadow spawn onto the where you want them?
I love Eugene's shadow spawn.
For our new people, could you just give us a little bit of an explanation of what your shadow spawn looks like?
Bit of shadow flavor.
Shadow flavour.
So, Eugene makes some incantations, and in like the space in front of the cart, you see like a familiar purple like opening. Every time Eugene casts a spell, there's like a purple like portal almost that grows and spits and spins around the edge, and through it comes like a lumbering, almost humanoid, shadowy shape. It's very hench, and it looks very angry, and it has sort of like a mask on its what would be, you assume, its face, and it's got a big glowing purple angry face right now.
Oh, that's so cool.
Amazing. As part of the casting, it gets to do something, doesn't it?
Also, because you said hench, I'm now just picturing Terry Crews in a mask being summoned.
Painted purple?
Yeah.
That's it. Your
That's
shadow spawn is
slightly
now
less
purple-
terrifying now.
purple
If anyone
painted
wants to make
Terry
fan
Crews.
art, we're not going to complain about that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get to do anything when it appears, but it will go immediately after me. I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm doing something with my bonus action.
Yeah, that's no worries. It will be going next, and then Rock, you are up after that.
Is it a bonus action to send Pocket to do something? Or would that be like
no,
my
ordering
action?
your familiar is a bonus action.
Bonus action, isn't it? I can't remember if he's a rat right now, actually, but
I think he is.
I think he is.
I can't
Okay,
remember, I lost track.
forget that.
I think he was right because he was scurrying
He was,
between
yeah.
people's feet when we were at the party.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Sorry about this hideously
I don't
unprepared
think that even
term.
Pocket knows what Pocket is anymore.
Oh, identity pocket crisis.
In that case, that will be my turn. I will stay on the cart to try and like calm the horses, I guess, or at least like pull the wagon to a stop if they look like they're gonna like rear or something. And then it will be my shadow spirit's turn, and they are gonna do what's it called? Dreadful Scream.
Oh, go scream like a fox.
Oh God. Rock's going to be
Screaming's
looking
not
for
over,
foxes.
Sorry, Theo, what was that?
The screaming's not over.
Screaming's not over.
Sorry, I needed to have summoned him here retrospectively.
Yep, that's
Um,
I'll allow that. Is it a
So
save?
they need to make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save. It's a 15.
That meets his beats, isn't it?
Do they still take something? Still happens to them, though, doesn't it?
Sorry, bear with.
Yes, no worries.
No.
No. Okay, nothing happens. But it does
Nada.
sort of shriek, and it does draw attention to itself. And this creature, its attention seems to come, although it's coming at speed, its attention just kind of drifts off the cart for a second, seeing this one creature in front of it that kind of trying to retaliate against it. Dives down and will attack the Shadow Spawn 3 times.
Okay.
Jesus.
Nice to know. It's got 3 attacks. Great.
First of all, it tries to bite into it as it goes, with a 19 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Ooh, 15 damage.
Okay.
And then there's a spark of lightning from its mouth,
Ugh.
and it takes an additional 6 lightning damage. And then once
Was
it's
that one attack?
That was one attack. Whilst it's got its bite in it, it kind of scratches down with both its talons.
Oh boy.
21 to hit,
Yeah.
and 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Okay, so it takes an additional 12 slashing damage. Don't know if it has any
boy.
resistances to these. So the initial was piercing.
It
and
only
then
has
lightning.
resistances to necrotic.
To necrotic. Okay, cool.
How
So-
dare you make me do so much maths, Chris?
I know, it's almost like we're playing a game that involves it.
Ew.
It
Did you not hear the
will-
part where we're queer artists?
We've driven Wayne away.
Yeah.
I've got to do the actual maths because it's not on D&D
Whilst,
Beyond.
that's all right.
Oh, no.
Whilst you do that, we
I've done it.
will
It's fine.
jump
It's
over
fine.
to Rock. What would you like to do? You see this thing kind of leap down and just slash into the shadow creature. It seems quite frustrated because this thing doesn't have quite the substance that it was going for.
Okay. See, we mentioned queer and everyone came out the woodwork.
Common.
Welcome to
I
Queer
don't-
Dungeoneers.
I think seeing that it is attacking that thing, I think Rock will use that as a sort of momentary distraction and move.
Yep.
So kind of away from the horses.
Good plan. Yep.
So probably over here. Top to the left and in front of the horses. So I can at least draw its attention there. And then I am going to, as my action, I'm going to take out my pistol and fire at it.
Yep. Awesome.
Okay. It's a 23 to hit.
23 will definitely hit.
Cool. And then it's 1d10 plus 3. And that is 10 points of damage.
Nice.
And then for my bonus action, I will get my rapier to fly up next to me. But is it within range? I don't think it is now. No, it's still not within range of the creature, so it can't attack yet.
That's fine. How close does it need to be? 30 feet?
30 feet, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm kind of adding, when it's down close to the ground, it's kind of just above the shadow creature now. When it's flying up, I'm kind of adding 10 feet for each.
Yeah, that's fine. Even if it was on the same level, it's not close enough, so.
That's fine. Abstracting algebra, not algebra, Pythagoras' theory on the fly. So.
I'm having enough trouble with adding.
Aisling, you see Rock run up with his rapier and take position on the other side.
Cool.
What would you like to do? You're next.
I think it's still hexed, isn't it? Yes.
It is.
I'm gonna try again with a couple of agonizing blasts.
Amazing.
Try and get it.
Blaze.
Ooh, nice. 25 to hit.
25 will hit. Give me the numbers. Give me those juicy numbers.
That is. Wait, shit! I rolled the wrong one. Sorry.
No, fine. That's okay.
And then it's a d6 with that. Nice. Okay, that's 14 damage on the first one.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yep. It felt that.
Yeah. Good. 15 to hit.
15 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
Just goes a little
Okay.
wide. It's,
Yeah, I haven't got any bonus actions, and I think I'm gonna. No, I might move forward a wee bit. I think I'm gonna come to just under the tree here.
amazing. Cool. That will make it Eugene's go.
Okay. We are gonna try. I'm still too far away, really. Okay, we're just gonna try and fireball it.
Nice.
Why not?
Nice.
Oh,
Love
boy.
a fireball.
Crispy chicken.
So yeah, the big purple portal opens in the sky above the creature, and fire rains from above. It must make a
Is
dexterity saving
Eugene's
throw.
fire purple as well?
I think we discussed it was, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it rolled a natural 1, which is
Oh!
a full fail. So would you
Get
like
it!
to just tell me what the max damage is on your fireball?
8d6.
8d6. Nice.
48. 48 damage.
48.
Damage.
Thank
Okay.
Oh my god!
Damn, I should have cast it at 4th level. That would have been great.
Lay it now.
That is a buck wild amount of damage in one thing.
48.
Yeah, I agree, Rooney. Get wrecked, Sky Chicken.
4d8, did you say?
68.
6. 48.
48 damage. Okay, cool. So I'm doing maths and listening at the same time and not doing them very well. So
I don't like it
I have a
either.
calculator if you want it.
yeah, but then I tell you how many hit points it's got, and that's not how I'm doing things.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Shadow Spirit. You need to make a dexterity saving throw to
Oh no, of course!
And that's a fail, so it also
Bye.
poops into out of existence my shadow spirit.
Oh no.
It goes, disappears.
Bye.
Going,
Wow.
Oh God! No! Why does it sound like Stitch?
I was doing my best.
It did do very well, though. I mean, even though it didn't get to do what you wanted to do, it did distract the ants.
It distracted, yeah.
Creature, so,
While I set it on fire.
yeah, which doesn't take as well as you think it should. It does
Had
seem
a
to do some
feeling
damage,
that
but
would
nowhere
do it.
near what you would expect for the level of damage, because it took a direct hit.
How's Burb looking?
I don't think fire hurts it very much.
Yeah, that was like a massive fireball and it's still up there.
It's
No, it
bleeding from several wounds. It looks like it's taken some damage. It looks mostly very angry.
But the smell after the fireball is making me hungry.
Nom, nom. Yeah, did you want to move or anything from where you are?
Yeah, I will move a little bit closer, somewhere here towards where Aisling is.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So, it is its go. It flaps up, back, and sucks in air with this crackling energy all around it. I need everybody in front of it, which is all three of you, to make me a dexterity saving throw as a huge cone of flaming electricity bounces towards you. Okay. Tell me what you got.
13.
13,
17.
17,
10.
10. Aisling and Eugene, you both
Shit.
take 45 fire damage.
I'm down.
Rock,
Me too.
you take
Oh, wait, no, not quite.
22.
45! I want to speak to your manager. Chris.
Oh my god. I don't like it anymore.
Oh, I really wish I'd done last term up.
So is Eugene down?
Eugene falls
Yes.
to
Eugene's
the...
down.
You kind of all cover your faces
Fair.
as this flame just kind of bounces all over you. And as it comes away, next to you, Aisling, you watch as Eugene just slumps to the ground, smoking. That is its go. Wayne.
Wait, what about the horses? Are the horses okay?
Horses are literally just out of range based on the
Damn it, I should have stayed on the cart!
Oh my god!
based on the cone that I created for this. So yeah, they are literally just out of. Luckily, you can sort of see they're kind of hopping back into the cart at this point, but they can't go anywhere because.
I watch too many cartoons. Now I just have images of both the horses like that.
One's holding the other and they're sitting on the back of the cart at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Why didn't I stay on the cart?
Dear. So, Rock, what would you like to do with your abilities?
Help.
Okay.
How?
As my bonus action, Rock looks over and sees Aisling looking a little flambéed, and Eugene drops to the floor. And Rock kind of glows green, and these crystal green sort of spectral wings
Yes.
unfurl from behind him. And as he does that, he will move. He flies to just about halfway where he was. And he will yell at this creature, and he yells, "Leave my friends alone!" And as he does so, there is a beam of what looks like a sharp green crystal that literally shoots from the front of his head directly into this creature. And I need it to roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Not its strongest. It gets a 14.
It fails.
Yes.
So, it is
Get him,
going
Rock.
to take...
Avenge me.
You're not dead.
Not yet.
Give me a chance. I'm just writing these down so that I can add them.
That's a lot of rolls. I like it. That's still a lot of
There's
rolls.
still a lot of rolls. It's a good spell. This is Psychic Glance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, so...
Get him.
16.
Get him.
28 points of psychic damage.
Ooh.
Love to see it.
Mm-mm.
It is starting to look decidedly rough. You kind of see blood seeps out of like where its nostrils are, and it's behind where these kind of wild, sparking eyes. It kind of shrieks and pulls away as Rock kind of hits it with his psychic lance, and it does not look happy. It looks like that really hurt.
Actually, because if you don't mind me retrofitting a little, I probably would have flown over a little to the side as well.
I'm okay with that. That's
Because
fine.
I wanted to kind of put myself between it and my friends.
Yeah,
So.
Aw.
that's fine.
And
Yeah,
as I'm flying, I'm right in its face like that. Not touchy.
So that makes it Ashling's go.
Yup. I'm gonna stay close to Eugene, but I'm gonna move just in front. I think I want to get rid of the threat before I do a like spare the dying or anything on Eugene just yet. So I'm gonna try and do a couple more blasts and see if I can do a bit more damage to it.
Okie dokie, go for it.
Nope, that was a crit fail, so I'm not even gonna try. That's better.
Fortunately,
That's,
nobody in melee. What's the second one?
22 to hit.
22 will hit.
Nice. 9, 11 damage
11
on that one.
damage. Nice. Cool. It is starting to look beaten up. It's definitely bloodied at this point. Looking around frantically to try and you kind of get a sense that it's trying to work out whether it's worth staying to try for this prey or get out whilst it can. Anything else with your turn?
I mean, I don't know whether that's an action or not because it doesn't say, but I've got Beast Speech as an Eldritch Invocation that doesn't involve a spell slot. Would that be a full action?
No, I mean you can talk as part of your action. You can't get massively complicated concepts around, but you can shout at it.
I think she's just gonna communicate to it, just leave. We're not gonna stop. Just leave.
You kind of scream this into this kind of like thunderous energy that it's creating, and you don't get the sense it understands. It is not technically a beast.
Oh, for God's sake!
It seems to be something else.
Damn it!
But
Can I like sort of see if I have another bit of speech that I could use? Can I see if Alabaster knows what the fuck this thing is?
Yeah, you can sort of imply. I mean, Alabaster is roughly aware of what goes on in your life anyway. So
I think she'll just sort of yell after that fails, like, "Why can't I talk to it?"
He can't respond on this turn, though.
No.
Eugene, could you please make a death saving throw?
19.
19. Yeah, pass the first one. No problem. It is its go. It zooms towards the target of Rock. seeing this flying thing, and as it does, you kind of see this sparkling energy, kind of like this lightning kind of get thicker and faster, and as it gets towards you, it bursts into lightning. You need to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Okie dokie. I have advantage on those. 21.
21. Why do you have advantage on those again?
I don't know, but it's marked as advantage.
We'll figure it out in a second. 21.
Oh, no, I lie. It's not.
Nope.
It's just my proficiency. So that would be 15.
15. Fail. You take... Hang on 1 second.
5.
14 lightning damage as you watch this thing disappear and then reappear over here and just keep flying. Looking over its shoulder once to see if it killed you. Having seen
It did not.
It did
Leave!
not. It flies off into the distance, shrieking angrily.
So it looks
Are
as
we
though
out of
it's
combat?
escaping, running away.
Running away.
Okay.
So it's up to you guys whether you want to pursue it or do anything with it.
I think the second
whose
we're
go
out of
is it?
combat, if we're not doing a thing, I will do Spare the Dying on Eugene.
It's up to you guys. It'll go around to your go, Rock. If you want to pursue it and carry on combat, then you can.
No, Rock would fly straight down for Eugene as soon as he sees it's flying away.
Yeah.
All right, cool. In that case, if we're not combating anymore, I will Spare the Dying on Eugene.
Yeah. Cool. And I think we can drop out of combat.
Oh, hail Satan!
And swap to something a little more chilled
I
music.
think I forgot how
Yeah,
to combat.
got on some Enya. Yeah, so Eugene, you're stable now, and you don't have to do any death saves.
Hooray.
For my go, I would.
Go on.
Sorry, I was going to say for my go, I'd fly down and literally shove a healing potion down Eugene's throat.
Cool. Because you're out of combat, you can take the full heal from that one.
Cool. So.
Okay. So what's the...
2d4 plus 2, so 10. It's just a standard healing potion you're using, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'll remove one of those.
Whilst you're attending to Eugene, Aisling and Rock, you guys can make me a basic intelligence check.
Very
You
basic.
can add history if you want to as well, actually. To be fair.
Yeah, history's probably better.
Doesn't matter. It's not going to be a plus anything.
11 for me.
11?
11 as well.
Okay. I think the two of you come to this realization at the same time. The Adventurers Guild had talked about a rock in the area that they had a number of problems with, and no one ever killed it. This is the thing that claimed that young adventurer's
Oh, his
arm.
arm, yeah.
Oh.
Oh no!
I think, yeah, as soon as it sort of the realization dawned on Rock, he'd be like, "Oh my god, that was the guy with the arm. That was the." Are you sure it wasn't that was
Yeah.
screaming yesterday? Because that
No,
sounded... No.
Rock.
Okay.
It was don't no. It was Fox.
Okay. Eugene, are you all right? You're a little sort of charred bit on your.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been better, honestly.
I mean, that was a very impressive fireball, though. I have to say, fire.
That was amazing. But I feel like we need to go and sit down.
Yes, please.
It was a monstrosity, not a beast. That's why you couldn't talk to it.
Oh, okay. Alabaster says that thing was a monstrosity.
It
not
was,
technically.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, not like
Clearly.
category-wise. It was like not a.
If they were
beast
like
type
arbitrary
thing.
categories of animals, that would-
Arbitrary
Yeah.
categories of animals. It is not it is a natural beast, but it is not tied to nature like a rabbit or a fox is.
Blech.
of course not. It's nothing like a rabbit or a fox. I mean, they don't.
Oh my
fly
God.
and make lightning and stuff. Well, that was decidedly unpleasant, and not what I expected. I honestly just thought it was a sort of large bird of some sort. I didn't.
I mean, is it all right that we just let that thing go? I mean, there isn't anywhere near here where there's.
We couldn't have done anything
People,
else.
right?
Like,
I mean,
you were how you were. I was very close
Yeah.
to being how you were.
I mean, I'm not
Rock-
feeling great myself, so
No.
I think one more of those large attacks that it had, all the claws and bitey bits and stuff. To be honest, I think all three of us would have been down, which would probably not have helped anyone. So,
No.
I mean, I hate to be the sensible one, but I think perhaps we did the right thing.
You don't hate that.
What?
Nothing. Let's get back
But
on the car.
I mean, we could have chased it if we'd really wanted to fight it, but I mean, I just thought it was probably safer to not do
could
that.
have. Also, how are
I mean,
these
I would have been
horses so
fine, I'm
chill?
sure, but what?
How are these horses so chill?
They're not.
I don't think they're chill.
They are. It does take you a little while to calm them down, and these are like trained horses, but I think this is a little beyond their ability. But I think the ring is probably helping.
Amazing.
And I will use my telepathy to try my best to assist with calming them, so we calm them down quicker.
Now they're bold, completely terrified by that.
Shade.
I put the calming sounds of nature in their head, interspersed with screaming foxes. Yeah.
Not bothered by foxes. Yeah. Fireballs nearly to the face. That's a bit of a worry, but.
I mean, they did look a little unnerved by that, but.
So I think you guys gather yourselves up and get back on the road. Eugene probably looking a little worse for wear. All of you feeling a bit bloodied and burnt. But aware of the fact you are coming up to the village and will be there probably within the next couple of hours. So
Could we
providing nothing
do-
else gets
Could
there.
we take turns with a short rest or something?
You can all take a short rest if you want to.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to.
Whilst you are.
I'm not looking good.
Well, because one extra attack on before we get to the village and we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a perfect place for us to take our break.
Yeah, I forgot we do that.
Yeah, I do. We will be back about 5 to for more shenanigans and fun. And yes, keep on. Those of you get up, make sure you stretch, grab yourself a drink. Those of you that are hanging around, please do check out the wonderful creatives and artists that we've managed to gather together for this month. We're doing a little bit of a campaign which is to kind of remind people that Pride isn't just June, Pride does not stop. And to do that, we are highlighting LGBTQIA plus creatives within the game space, illustrators, artists, people that we have between us all like kind of been following ourselves and just trying to encourage some more eyes on their wonderful work and what they're up to. So yes, we will see you in 10 minutes. Have fun. Bye.
adventurer.
We are back. Hope everybody grabbed themselves a drink, got to stretch and the like. And I hope you got to see some of the wonderful artists and creatives that we are talking about, highlighted in our wonderful video created by the amazingly talented Wayne Fick.
Hi.
Today we are making Wayne slightly uncomfortable by giving him compliments. Before the break, we had a little bit of rock-on-rock action as the
Filth.
team flew down with a strange giant thunderbird that seemed to have been bothering the island since probably they began their adventures some months ago. They got through it by frightening the creature off, doing it a significant amount of damage, but taking a lot in their own stead as well, and helping a poor, slightly toasty Eugene back onto the cart. I think you guys kind of all having a bit of a breather as you wander forward back. The horses a little more cautious than they were before.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Yeah, they're not the only ones.
The rest of your afternoon's journey is a little quieter, unless there are any conversations you want to kind of share. You make your way to your next stop.
I managed to refrain.
Those horses have indeed seen some shit, Rooney. They have
I know,
that
wait.
100-yard stare. Like,
Until we take them back, he'll be like, "What the hell did you do to my horses?" They're like, total
Let me just
rebel.
very quickly Google how much is horse therapy in 5e.
ongoing 15 gold a month.
Bargain.
So
Cheaper than real life.
the day kind of wears on. It's kind of there's little showers here and there, but it's actually a much nicer day than yesterday was in general. Probably one of the reasons the Rock was out hunting, actually. And eventually you come past an open area, like a little lake that overlooks, like where it's starting to get more hilly as you get closer towards the mountain itself. You come across what is a very clear, clean lake, and on the opposite side of that lake is a small village, like a farming community, like only about 5 or 6 big houses and a few ramshackle little huts along the side and things like that. You probably estimate about 50 to 70 people at tops. One of those small communities where everybody knows everyone else's business.
Yeah.
What is unusual about it is just behind what must be the town hall, the largest building in there, is a huge statue made of brass and various metals that stands over and stands. Actually, it doesn't. It kneels over the town in kind of like a slightly deferring pose, almost like it's kind of taken the knee in front of it. It is rusted and worn, and there's growths of moss and plant life, and you can see like birds and animals have made their heads in it, their homes in it, even from where you are coming in around the road sweeping around the edge of the.
How big is it?
You would guess it probably stands around about as tall as the cathedral part of the citadel. It's very tall.
Damn.
That's huge for a tiny little village.
The village itself looks like it was built after this thing.
That's nuts.
Does it look like there's a tavern?
Yes, there's a small inn
Aha!
on the outskirts near the main road. So if you don't want to stay in the carriage tonight, if they've got room, you can probably stay in the inn itself.
Yeah, I vote we do that.
Well, can we at least go and get a meal and perhaps freshen up and
Yeah.
get some of the suit of faces?
Oh yeah. Good point.
You make your way into this small village. Kind of a few people on the road, like farmers coming back from like work and a few like hands and things like that. Just kind of notice you as you go past, and general sort of hellos and the like.
I
I shall
wave
wave
very
flamboyantly.
enthusiastically. Ah!
You get the impression that they're used to visitors, but again, small community. It's very clear that you're outsiders. As you get closer to the inn, you can hear it's quite rowdy, and there are a number of carts already set up on the outside, most of which seem to be stacked with goods for transport. Probably all going back to the city.
What time of day is it?
It's probably late afternoon. Normally you would probably push on for another couple of hours, but you made good time this morning before your encounter with the rock. And I think since then you've been very focused on just getting somewhere safe to rest. Yeah, pull into this inn. It's very rowdy. Looks actually quite busy. A few people kind of just sitting around drinking outside. It is... Most of the community seems to be human or halfling. Probably about 50-50 split between the two of them, but other races are around this inn. There's a couple of Goliath, a half-orc, a tiefling, and just a general mix of people that all look like they've come into the village, keeping themselves to themselves, like in small little groups, obviously travelling together back to Cloudskern or from Cloudskern. Nobody kind of really is that bothered as you kind of settle in, pull the horses in. Small stable hand, a slim female human with mousy brown hair and kind of a quite sharp, intelligent eyes comes over. She goes, "Want me to take care of the horses? Get you all set up for the night? 2 silver."
Oh,
for the
yes,
night?"
please.
That's fine. If you could, I'll give her a couple of extra silver and say if you could give them some extra food and maybe a brush down or something. It was quite an adventurous journey.
And some
She
therapy.
She smiles and just kind of, okay, yep, that's fine, no problem. I'll make sure I keep a very clear eye on them, sir.
Thank you. That would be most appreciated. Who do we speak to about getting some food and possibly some rooms?
Raoul's on the bar at the moment. He's probably the best
Raoul.
person to talk to.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. That's very helpful.
I think I'm already walking over to Raoul because I want some food.
You walk over to the inn. You make your way in. You push through the front door, which is kind of-
Dramatically.
yeah. Is there any other
Of course.
that Rock knows? And you are greeted by quite a thriving room. It's kind of full of like a nice mix of the local villagers who are sort of sitting on, obviously celebrating or resting after their long days, and a number of, again, more merchants and like sitting on little tables. Raoul is behind the bar. He is a rotund, tall, but quite powerfully built tiger man with hands that are backwards. And he is...
What do you mean hands that are backwards?
Hands that go the wrong way. He is smoking a pipe as he pours a couple of drinks and sets them down in front of a couple of clients and chuckles happily to himself before moving on. As you come in, he kind of waves at you and waves you towards him. I will have all of you make a history check or an arcana check.
Okay.
History
It's gonna be
Arcana.
history. It's gonna be good.
15.
15?
Same. We've got the same roll twice now.
Yeah, there's clearly something slightly unnatural about this person, but you can't quite put your finger on what. I mean, other than the fact his hands are backwards, and there are tiger folk tabaxi, but nothing that like him. What did you get, Eugene?
17.
17. You have read about Rakshasa before.
Oh, I get the backwards hands now. My brain was having trouble trying to
That's all
picture
right.
that, but now I understand.
And we're all slightly brain melty today, so
I think after Raoul waves, Ashley's just going to stare at her own hands and try and work out what looks weird. It's like,
I mean, your legs go backwards, so compared to your
Hey!
hands.
I mean, fair point.
The ankle's just higher up.
He smiles and kind of, good evening. How can I help you today?
Well, good evening. We're wondering if we could get some meals, and then perhaps if you have some rooms available for the night.
I have one room, but I should be able to fit all three of you in if you do not object to sharing. And
Slumber
you-
party! Nice.
Yeah, fine. I think. I mean, if you only have one room, then I'm sure we will make do.
Fantastic. 2 meals, breakfast and dinner, and the room 1 gold a head.
Cool.
Super. And do you do room service for for perhaps late night snacks or?
What kind of snack are you talking about, my dear man? We do have a respectable establishment, you know.
Snack with a double C.
Oh, I say. I mean, that, no, I would never. We would. No, I'm not. I mean, I would never. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but that's not what I was asking. I mean, like food and Ashley, what kind of snacks do we need?
What other kind of snacks are there?
Well, some people refer to certain services as having a snack.
Aisling has really high insight. Does she know what is getting innuendoed right now?
I think Aisling is probably...
Everybody in the room except Eugene understands
Okay,
what is
good.
happening here.
But if that is of your interest, you should probably talk to Teresa. And he points to a very attractive-looking grandchild at the end of the bar. For those of you who aren't familiar with my lore, grandchild are the name for changelings. And they wave at you as Raold kind of like gestures towards you and indicate quite clearly they have 3 brass bands on their arm, which I think Rock definitely knows, and Aisling probably would have heard referred to, is the sign of someone who is works as a sex worker. But is registered and paid well and has a contract with the place that they're in, and those bands are kind of to indicate their service, and also so that whoever their employers are know where they are at any time.
Cool.
As well, so they can, like, there's a attached device. It's not like kind of like a creepy way. It's just like, I haven't seen them
Keep
for a
them
while.
safe.
I need to know where they are.
I shall just wave at her and say, they seem lovely, but back to the kind of snacks, the food.
Oh, we literally mean like bring carbs to our door.
He smiles his big toothy grin, and he knew what you meant, but he was playing like quite are any of you vegan, vegetarian, do not eat certain types of food at all?
I'm vegetarian and cheese connoisseur.
Fantastic.
I mean, I have no particular preferences. Just late night. I mean, we'll have a meal first, but it's just for if we wanted to have some snacks.
Just let me know what you want before you go to bed, and I will make sure it's brought up to you.
Very well.
He kind of like gives you a menu. It's kind of like very standard sort of gentle fare stews, like boards, cheese and bread boards, things like that. Like good hearty food that a lot of the farmers probably would want if they don't want to cook for that evening. Marked on the bottom is also spit roast pork. You can see that they've kind of pulled in a boar for this evening. Someone probably went hunting today and had extra or something. But so I won't bore everyone with like going through individual menus.
You won't bore them.
Oh dear, didn't even intend that one. But we'll just say mark off a gold each, or if someone wants to cover everybody else, and you can eat, and there's plenty of space for you to sit and rest.
Cool. Yeah, I will eat my body weight in whatever I can afford and sit and try and not be charred.
Try and unchar yourself. Yes, I think we'll tuck into to the meal as soon as it arrives, and I think Rock will probably very unsubtly, without realizing it, go, "Oh, it is so nice to have a decent meal." God, no, I just mean a decent an evening meal. You know, because we haven't had an evening meal for a day. Anyway, you've got a bit of charred thing on you still. We should get that off.
Ashley, you hear in your head, I think I might know a spell that casts a mark that can't be removed for precipitation, you know.
In her head, she's like, well, now I'm fucking tempted, am I?
Why are you grinning? Why are you grinning?
It's very, very good bread.
Happy to be alive?
Oh, yeah, and that. Oh, yeah, no, you didn't hear that. And yeah, happy to be alive and not dead. Don't worry about it. Eat your cheese. Eat your cheese.
I'm just going to look at Eugene and just go, she's talking in her head again. It's getting a bit confusing. Are you okay, Eugene?
Yeah, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think. Yeah, better now. Food is nice. That was terrifying.
Yeah, weren't really expecting that.
I mean, it's quite some attacks on that bird. I wasn't really expecting the sort of combined lightning, viciousness, thunder,
No, and I
magic,
thought your fireball
everything.
would sort them out.
Well, I did too. It was most impressive.
Thanks. I wasn't really sure what else to do, really.
I mean, it was quite pretty too. It kind of matched with its plumage as it kind of crisped it.
Yep, that's
Yep.
what I was going for.
Yep, the aesthetic is the most important part of that fight.
But it doesn't hurt, does it? I mean,
Well, it does, because, you know...
no, I mean, it doesn't hurt to
With
make an
barbecue.
effort. I mean, violence doesn't have to be ugly.
So, does anyone know where we are?
Surely Ashling's got a vague idea,
So
right?
Ashley better have a map, otherwise I'm sending her back.
I think Ashling had the map for this already. You are in
Yeah.
the town, or the village of Watcher's Promise,
Okay.
which is, again, a small farming community that supplies food to both the major city and to the Fey Enclave. So they have good business going on. They're kind of probably about equidistant between the two places. It's about another day's ride till you get to the Enclave from here.
I'll flick to that page in my book then and sort of show them that we're halfway between the things.
It does look like it's better roads this side, though, so it's going to be easier going for everybody.
Oh, that's good. But hopefully we'll be there by tomorrow evening if we get a good start.
And no more birds.
Yes, don't get burnt to a
Fingers
crisp
crossed.
along the way.
No.
Whilst the three of you are reflecting on the bird, it kind of does occur to you that was not what you nearly were involved with when you were given the lighthouse mission, from what you were told by the people that took that eventually. They said it was a rock, like a giant bird, like a giant falcon type creature. This distinctly had more mystical ability than they had described.
There's two of them.
Or it got more powerful.
Oh, God.
It has been 6 months.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's learned a thing or two.
Well, if we weren't so beaten up, we could have taken it down, but...
Well, yes, but that other man lost an arm. I'd rather not. I mean, I'm certainly not going to face Eugene's mother if I have to return him with one arm less. That's a definite no.
Good point. Yeah, I think we did the right thing in letting it go away.
Well, yes, and Eugene was also lying on the floor unconscious. So
Yeah, that wasn't ideal. Oh, hey, do you think while we're here we should ask someone about the ghost?
Oh, yes, perhaps it's a local legend or something. Maybe we.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, because it wasn't
Also,
far away.
We can ask them about that huge statue. That
I was going to say, speaking of
Yeah.
local legend, who's Paul
What's
Bunyan
that
out there?
who's what?
Never mind.
Who's got bunions? mean, that's a bit rude. It's a working class town. I think that's a little unfair. Excuse me, Raoul. Raoul.
Yes.
Hi.
How can I help?
Well, we wondered if you could perhaps fill us in a little on the local law. We're wondering about the giant statue and the
Yeah.
local ghost.
Well, the statue I can tell you about. A ghost? I don't know of any ghosts.
There's probably more than one ghost
Please tell me.
locally.
I will share the story with you about the ghost. That sounds interesting to me. But our metal friend who watches over this village was here before we were. From the humans who set this village up, from what I understand, it may have been a weapon to use against our enemies before
What?
the ascension.
It was a weapon.
A weapon.
Oh.
What, the statue?
Yes. Those that have travelled further believe that it may be related to. Have you ever met the Forgeborn? The Sidoric?
No, but
we
we're
do
kind
know.
of.
We know Sidoric. Yes.
We're
Maybe
kind,
if
yeah.
them.
Oh yeah.
It may have been created in the same way that they were, for the same purpose that they were, to defend others. Just bigger, much bigger. It has never moved. It is completely inert. Wizards and artificers have come and looked it over multiple times and said that it is dead. Just dead. But the locals like to believe that it still watches over us. This village has always been safe. No bandits or shenanigans have ever really happened here. And it's almost like it gives off an aura. Or it's a huge, sodding great metal man, and everybody's like, okay, we don't want to mess with that.
I mean, it is a little hard to miss as you approach the village.
Absolutely. But it is kind of a local interest. A lot of people come through here. It means that they earned a lot of money very quickly, which means that they can set up a good farming community. And they've done well for themselves. I won this inn a decade ago from the previous owner.
You won it?
I won it, yes.
What, gambling?
Oh, of course, I do like a little bit of gambling.
Good Lord, I mean, an entire inn?
Flashes you a smile, which kind of is almost a little bit of a challenge at the same time.
Whoa.
And it depends entirely on what people have for offer, of course. But he stopped at his personal wealth and didn't go further. So I took the inn, quite liked the place, and the people who come here. So I stayed.
Right, it's very nice. I mean,
my kind don't normally like to settle, but the people here are good, and my life is good.
Now, you were going to tell us about the ghost.
No, you were going to tell me about the ghost. You saw a ghost. And he sits down like he's your mate. Just grabs one of the pints off of one of the servers as she wanders past. And you can see her roll her eyes and go back to...
Right, so it was nighttime and we were sitting down and keeping an eye on stuff so no one nicked our stuff. And there was, like, in the woods where we'd stopped, this like transparent bluish woman that was just walking through, and she had a lantern, and it was a bit ominous, and we sort of didn't do anything. We just stayed back, and she disappeared, and it was well creepy.
Also, the whole forest went silent. I mean,
yeah.
And wait till I tell you about the screaming. It's horrendous, but the whole forest.
Rock's not used to foxes.
No. The demonic foxes were screaming. They're terrifying. But yes, the whole forest went quiet. Even the little insects and birds and things. It was all very quiet while the ghost was there. It was like it was like the forest held its breath as she walked through.
I was going to say, was it nature just respecting this woman as she passed?
Or perhaps terrified of her. I mean,
there are a number of people who have gone missing over the years in this area, and all sorts of stories. Like sometimes it's just people running away from tough family situations or a life that they don't particularly want to be trapped into. But there are a number of people who just disappear under mysterious circumstances. Perhaps you caught
ghost did something.
I think perhaps you may have seen the spirit of someone who had unfinished business when you passed away.
Oh, see, I told you, wandering, looking for. They had a lantern. It was all very dramatic. It was,
Ooh.
but yes, it was, so yes, we thought it might be a ghost, but it just went its own way, really.
In which case, my friend, you did exactly the right thing by staying away from the creature.
That's what Eugene said.
It's smart people, clearly well-experienced travelers.
Yeah.
Well, Eugene is very smart.
He looks very smart.
Yes, well, he is.
I do.
Yep. Yeah, you're the smart one.
You have a very sage-like air about you.
It's
And
probably the books all over.
This one is clearly a charismatic leader of some kind. He kind of puts a big hand on Rock's shoulder for a second, and you are clearly the wisdom that guides them through the wilds.
Yeah, whether they like it or not.
Now, I must return to the bar, for there are patrons needing to serve, but I am very pleased to have shared this story with you.
Oh, yeah, if anyone mentions the ghost, anything like that, tell us, yeah?
I will do, yes.
All right, cool.
Oh, also, do keep your eye out for a giant rock that spits lightning. It's kind of killing people and taking limbs.
Is that thing back again? I swear that the Adventurers Guild have not been able to get hold of it.
We almost got it.
Wait,
we
know about
came
it.
so close to taking it out.
It was driven from the eastern side of the island, I think, and it settled here. And we had another bunch of adventurers come. They drove it away. It runs away whenever it gets too badly injured. It's a canny opponent.
Well, yes, we were nearly going to kill it. Eugene had fireballs all over, and Ashley was doing blasts, and we were going to kill it, but it.
Rock shot like a green thing out of his face. It was very dramatic.
Are you okay? Did that hurt?
Oh no, it was on purpose.
No, it was just a weapon. It's just one of my many abilities. But yes, between the three of us, we were we had it on the ropes, so to speak. But then it ran away, and we thought we should probably just let it go this time.
Looks like you were not without injury from this either.
Yeah, I'm a bit mucky still.
I don't know what you mean. We're perfectly fine.
Eugene's like,
yeah, we're perfectly fine, says Rock, sort of putting his arm to cover up some of the burnt holes on Eugene's jacket.
Anyway, I shall leave you to your evening. Let me know what you wish for food later, and I shall make it prepared for you.
Thank you.
Gets back to it. Leaving the three of you to kind of reflect on the day and what you have encountered and gone through.
Well, perhaps we should send a word back to the Adventurers Guild to let them know that the rock thing is back.
Oh yes, that's quite a good idea actually.
And
if he said it's been chased away and
we beat it up a little bit, and hopefully if they want to come out and try and take it out now, we've done most of the work for him.
Yes.
All right, who's got the paper?
I think
I've got paper.
Okay, cool.
I thought I had one piece at least. Oh yeah, no, I've got some. I'll just write a quick note to what's their names?
Marag, Dietrich, or
to Marag and Dietrich, and just let them know briefly what happened, and just say we think it's still in the area, or we're seen heading in whatever direction it was heading in. I'll ask Ashley what direction it was in. Just say we did some damage, but unfortunately it got away.
Ashley can draw a quick little map in the corner.
Roughly where you were and where it was heading to. Yeah, just make a quick survival check for me.
Both of us? Or
no,
just Rock?
Just you.
Oh, just me. Okay, cool.
No, Rock's writing the letter. You're doing the working out where it went.
Yeah, I'm doing all the hard work.
I love the idea that Ashley just kind of drags a load of maps onto the table and starts doing kind of doing estimates and
yeah,
like
the red twine comes out. That's 22.
22. Yeah. So
I have good survival.
In the corner of the letter, because I think your note is probably quite short and precise for these sort of situations, Rock. and Ashling's drawing underneath takes up about half the sheet and is really quite detailed and kind of gives like a really good exact where you saw it and which direction it was heading and sort of like notes about the sort of speed it probably was going at the
I
time.
think Rock has prepared like a whole page story about it, and then Herschling gives him the sort of map page that's got like half the page taken up by map, and he's just like,
No big signatures this time.
Yeah, encountered Rock, seems more powerful. We nearly killed it. See map below. Love,
Nice.
Rock, Ashling, and Eugene.
I put some kisses on it.
Upon pressing the last line to it, the paper folds up into that dragonfly form that you've seen before, kind of starts twitching and takes off. I think there's a few people who go, "Ah!" as it kind of dives out the open door, as it bats its head on the door before somebody opens it and it zips out.
I think it makes Ashling jump every time it goes. Folds up.
It's really quick. It's kind of like you almost think it's screwing itself up, but there's something more precise about it.
So cool.
As soon as it does that, I'm just going, that never gets tired, you know.
Oh, it scares the shit out of me every time.
It's very cool. I think it's very, very clever. Anyway, shall we order food and things and relax a little bit? I think we could all do with a
lots.
good meal.
Yes.
Poor Eugene started today asking what is love and ended up facing mortality.
Speaking of which, I think once we've had our meal and are sitting around, I think Rock will kind of say to Ashley, what were you talking about earlier today when you were asking me what love is?
I think I'm going to look over at Eugene very briefly and just be like, do an expression that sort of says, "Can I?"
I feel like it's not.
Theo literally just did a head shake and nod at the same time.
Yep. Like, how do I read this? I know my insight's high.
No
but...
mixed signals here at all.
Yeah. I think that Rock, your insight is high enough that you kind of just like, this is clearly something between Eugene and Ashling that like Ashling wants to bring you in on.
I think Ashling hears in her head, I'll use message to say, fine, but don't drag me into it too much.
Charlie's face. Eugene, don't drag me into it, Ashling. So what were you talking
Subtlety, you know, your strong point.
Asking me
Oh, this should be
to
fun.
do that. Right, both of you shut up. Both in my head.
Just get this overlapping, like,
It's getting a bit crowded in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 1 in 1 out system, lads. Okay. It's a. Well, I mean, I was talking. There was just some questions floating around about like how do you tell you like have you heard about that, the love and that whole thing? Because I personally, it's not something I've really been that interested in, the whole romantic stuff. But like, what about you? We were like, well, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. What about you and your like? Sorry, Chris.
She's going swimmingly.
I feel like I'm listening to two conversations here.
It's about right. Yeah. What have you ever had a romantic situation, Rock?
Oh, yeah, I have. Yes, I mean, I have loved before.
Oh. All right. What happens? Is it what? Like, how do you?
I mean, it's probably something your parents should, or the guardians should. Anyway,
I know about that stuff. What about the love stuff?
Well, I think that's the more complicated stuff, really. But I
That's
think
what I was thinking. It's all
You know what,
subjective
I-
and weird and messy.
Well, yes, I think it can be. I think for many people it's very easy and clear cut, but I think it's different for everybody.
Right?
But I think the most important part about loving someone or being in love with someone is that it's not something that just happens and that's it. It's something that you continue to work on. And personally, I think that's how it should. I mean, imagine if you were just the same person for the rest of your life. That would be so dull. Everyone changes, everyone grows. And I think as one grows and changes, it's wonderful if you have someone with you that can grow in their own path, but alongside you and support you. But sometimes that doesn't happen. But I think someone who allows you to grow and to be yourself and to explore who you are without putting too many demands, and someone you can talk to about that.
So,
I think,
someone who you'd never really get bored of talking to, say, maybe.
well, I think that's a very good start, yes, I think. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's love, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's forever. But I think, I probably fell in love about 4 times in the last week. Well, because I think that moment of seeing someone and being taken with them is a very fleeting moment, and it can happen at any time. But that's not something that lasts, and I think you have to enjoy the moment without expecting it to last forever. Because it could change or end at any time, because one person changes or wants
Gets
something
burnt by a
different.
bird.
Or, gets, I mean, God forbid, but, eaten or whatever, falls down a ladder into a sewer. But yes, so I think...
Hey, that was ages ago, and I was fine.
I know, you were perfectly fine. But yes, I think enjoying it in the moment without expecting it to be forever or expecting it to be something specific. If it makes you feel good and that person makes you feel more like yourself to be around, then I think that's a perfectly good start.
Describing sounds like a friend.
Well, absolutely.
Well, that's what they need to be first, isn't it?
I mean, imagine
Like, how do you know the difference?
Well, I think it's the.
I mean,
the
theoretically
intensity.
speaking.
Well, of course, obviously. Just asking for a friend, yes.
Yeah, I was me.
Aisling. I'm asking for Aisling.
Yes, obviously.
Yep.
I think I think it's the intensity of those feelings grows and deepens until you feel like that's someone that you really do want to spend time with, spend a long time with, and share every part of your life. I mean, I love my friends, but I don't want to share every part of my life with them. But, if you're in love with someone for that time when you're together, sometimes you feel like you want to share your whole life with them. And that's a clear sign that perhaps you are in love with that person. But, I mean, that's just my opinion. If you read storybooks and poems, and there are a million different stories of love, and I mean, the ancient myths tell of
You've really fallen in love 4 times this week.
Well, yes, obviously, I don't mean that I wanted to spend my life with those people. I mean that immediate spark and those kind of immediate attractions to, oh my goodness, that person looks wonderful. That can happen at any point, but that's just a moment. What comes afterwards is what real love is about.
What do you mean by spark, though? What happens?
Well, I mean, I guess that's different for everybody because people are attracted to different things. Even intellectually, I know people who are attracted more to someone's intellect, to their brain, to their ideas than they are to necessarily what they look like, or whether they have exceptionally well-formed muscular arms, for example, just as a thing. But yes, so I think it's different.
Really specific example, but okay.
Who do we know who has very
well? I'm just as you. I'm just thinking about friends. So yes, I think it's different. That kind of spark could be an attraction to what they look like, if it's something that really attracts you to them physically, or it could be who they are, or how they think, or sometimes how brave they are, sometimes how funny they are,
That makes sense, actually.
or just really beautifully muscular arms. But I do think it's different for everybody, and I think you
That's
cannot
what
really.
I'm saying. It's all subjective.
Also, you can't really enjoy it if you're spending all your time wondering what it is. So you have to just accept it in the moment and enjoy the time you have with someone.
That's true.
But figuring out what things are is,
Tricky.
well, that's the fun part, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm always trying to figure out what things are. You have to know what
Absolutely.
things are.
But imagine how dull it would be if everything you started investigating you had the answer for in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
You'd
that's
be bored
true.
and frustrated.
I'd be a bit boring.
It's all an adventure. I mean, that's why we're here, to be adventurers. So see it as an adventure that you're exploring and trying things. And sometimes you get virtually burnt to a crisp and it's not a terribly pleasant experience. And sometimes you find great treasure, and that goes the same for love. And anyone who tells you love is always perfect and butterflies and rainbows is lying.
That's those books about all the love at first sight stuff. I knew that was nonsense.
Well, they're fairy tales. They're
Yeah.
tales that are made up to make us feel good and create some fantasy. But
it's weird.
that's why I say real love and being in love is something you work at after the event, not just when you first meet someone.
Or as they're called in the Fey Enclave, human tales. Because fairies are much
Exactly.
more subjective about these things.
Exactly.
I think a second round of drinks is brought out for you all. I think Raoul, after your conversation, just gives you a round on the house.
Oh yeah.
Well, cheers.
Yeah, and your conversation carries on. I think a few people kind of listen in. You can see some of the older farmers and things kind of nodding along and things like that. A couple of people kind of obviously do that thing like you're in a local pub and a couple of people pipe in with their personal stories, one of the farmer's wife who's been married to the same man, fell in love with him when they were children, and and she says that it's weird because she didn't think it was that sort of thing, and they've been friends forever, and they just grew together. And then another one is he's on his third. She's on her third husband, and she just has really bad luck, she thinks, but she's always hopeful that passion kind of sparks to something a bit more lasting eventually. I think you have a nice night talking to some of the locals, and by the end of it, when the time you're ready to retire, you're probably more confused than you started with because no one has an answer.
Yeah.
But
I think Aisling gets a little bit tiddly and gets a little bit frustrated with how none of it really makes sense. And she's just like, yeah, but what if? But that doesn't work though, because then what if? I was saying to Eugene, what if they're a bit of a twat, and then you didn't realise that, and then what? I don't believe it.
I think as soon as there is a clear group of people who are listening, I think Rock will then take the opportunity to kind of distract them by bringing out his flute and playing something and trying to entertain them and distract them from the fact that Aisling is dribbling on their shoulders.
I'm not dribbly.
And your night is much nicer than your day was, and
Well,
the bar isn't high.
Yes.
Yeah, you eventually
True, the bar was low.
turn in and have a nice, relaxing night's rest. Ready, and Raoul organises to wake you up early. You ask him to make sure you are up just before dawn to get on the road again, and he does. And you kind of come down, and you realise that he's already prepping breakfast, and he's kind of he's tired. Hang on, does this man sleep?
Well, I mean, apparently Aisling doesn't, so it's no surprise anymore.
Nope.
And he's just kind of sauntering around. He's kind of got a breakfast ready for you all based on the conversations of what you had, and there's enough there for you to kind of pack a little something for the road as well.
Legend.
In your morning.
I'm assuming we get a long rest from that, right?
Oh yeah, you guys all have a very good long rest.
Can Eugene have like half of my long rest just to make sure?
Yeah.
Yes, and you start the third day of your journey, the last day of your journey, and it is much nicer, brighter day, and there is barely a cloud in the sky as you make your way onto the cart and move forward. Who is taking the reins and who is keeping watch?
It stopped raining. I'll take the reins again if you want.
Cool.
I'm happy to take watch.
I'll have an animal handling of the person who is driving the cart and a perception check off of the person who's keeping watch.
I'll be chilling in the back.
Oh, I'm so glad. I do have the ring on. I have the ring on.
Yeah, right, Eugene gave you the ring.
I'm kind of taking it the person who's driving it gets the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. What did you get, Rock?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Woo! Nice. You managed
and a 2.
So you managed to good thing for that ring. With your guidance and kind of like helping the horses of their natural rhythm and things, you managed to shave a good couple of hours off of your journey time for the day.
Nice.
Eugene, what did you get?
Oh, 19.
19.
Woo!
You guys crest the hill, coming out of the village, and coming round to what's quite an open plain area. You can actually see all the way down to the edge of the island.
Love that.
North of the island, and out beyond. And actually, from where you are with that, Eugene, I think you can just about make out it's quite a way, and you have to squint, but you think you can just about make out the first islands that make up the beginning of the Mystrium Empire.
Oh, so cool.
Just far out, it's quite a ways out. I mean, so I think from there, if you point it out to Aisling, Aisling would easily be able to tell you that she thinks that the island that you can see is probably. Hold on 1 second. I just need a map. I just need Parn.
Parn. Cool.
Spelled Parne, which the main gateway into the empire from the free nations. And the furthest the empire was allowed to expand before the coming of the current emperor and the great truce between the three great nations.
I think I would have scooted up front now, by the way, since Eugene pointed out the cool view. I would have scooted in between.
I think because Aisling, you spent so much time in books and things like that, you probably osmosed a little bit of this history, and I think this is the first time that Eugene and Rock have seen you this animated about something like this.
About something intellectual instead of just something a butterfly.
Jeez.
Also, Rock's like that. It's the Empire.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Rock's probably been to Belwa, been to several places in the Empire, so you know that where you grew up, Rock, is a lot further north. So the journey is really good. It's clear, it's quiet, and you make good time. And about the middle of the afternoon, you crest round, heading slightly south again, back towards the mountain. And roads are really good at this area, and you can see this looming single giant mountain, like a tooth, sticking out of the floor, like sort of brilliant, sort of purpley grey and snow-capped. And this is the cairn. It's the closest you've ever been to it. And just from there, you can see sort of these pock marks on it, which you make out are just caves, and you can see the slope. In certain places, there's scaffolding and things that have been put into place. But beneath it is a long red bridge, which comes down. And on the top of this bridge are small domes, and comes down into like a spiraling section of little buildings and things like that. And from where you are, as you approach, you can see small winged figures kind of darting in and out. And you see an ent kind of clambering up the side, looking like they're doing some repairs to the buildings there. This ancient keep that has been requisitioned and repurposed by the Fey Court is the local Fey Enclave. As you get closer, you can see a bustling little village, like a small town, really, underneath. There are humans and a couple of dragonborn and tieflings and the sort of things that you would have expected. But what is very different here is there are satyrs and there are fairies and elves. The most that most of you have seen since you left home for Eugene and Aisling. As you get close, you see like there's a military garrison just outside, with a number of figures all dressed in this slightly purple leathers with like pink trim, and a pink flower painted on their armor. And they all look very smart, and they have blue sashes and very good brass weaponry. Because in the Enclave they tend to ask you not to carry iron, just because it's considered bad luck. I think, Aisling, you would know what these are. This is the Lotus Guard.
Oh, that's cool.
So the Lotus Guard are Fey who had sworn an oath to protect the to protect the scattered lands from the influences of wild Fey. They tend to stay close to the enclaves, and it's their duty to police and make sure that the Fey are not acting for nefarious purposes. Generally, they're nothing much more these days than a village or city watch, and they have a tendency to be small in number, but they are always funded by the local court, and they are always filled only with Fey members. So you may occasionally get a half-elf or a tiefling who's an elf with an elf heritage, but most of them are just different types of Fey creatures. As you approach, they kind of like stop you, draw you up. A tall, very long, slender, androgynous elf who clearly defines themselves as fluid, steps forward, and they bow. I am Commander Alpha. I am head of the Lotus Guard here. Please may you state your business.
Well, yes, it's very nice to meet you. I am Rock, and these are my companions, Aisling and Eugene.
Yes. I believe that Auntie Needles is expecting you.
I believe we are expected. Yes. Do we just go on in?
Go past the gates through the village to the center pillar. There you will find some other Lotus Guard. Give your carriage to them; they will take care of it, and they will show you where you need to be. Unfortunately, I would take you myself, but I am in the middle of a patrol at the moment.
Oh, of course, I'm sure we'll be fine.
They, sorry, misgendering them. They turn and sort of like say something in Sylvan, which I think. Actually, you speak Sylvan, don't you?
I do. Too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah. So you both
Yes, I do.
recognize it as please accompany them, and you watch as this little goblin in the Lotus Guard, but with these big ears, which kind of slightly bigger than like Dietrich's and that, but they're feathered.
Oh!
Like these beautiful sort of green feathers that come out, and they pull themselves onto the back of a big cat, big fluffy white cat, and trot in front of you.
Oh my god, legend. I think I'll sort of say to Rock as well, because Rock doesn't speak Sylvan, does he?
No.
I'll sort of say, are they just getting them to escort us?
Oh, good, yes. Oh, I mean, do you think we can ride one of those?
I mean, maybe. That one looks a bit small for you.
But yes, I know. They're very beautiful, aren't they?
You do see that there's probably about 4 or 5 of them in the garrison outside. All dressed up in a similar sort of armor. You step inside and you are greeted by a complete kaleidoscope of colours and noise and smells. It's a little overwhelming for everyone but Aisling, because you're used
I love it.
how chaotic Fey can be when they gather. People shouting at each other with all their business is very open in the street. There are people just systematically will start fighting or dancing just because they feel like it. This is Fey as they are.
You just described Belfast, by the way.
Well, where do you think they get it from?
Yeah, that's the point.
They live louder, they
In
are
Newcastle,
longer and brighter than the mortals do, and they love it. And yes, Rooney, you do pass a small fairy, a sprite, and his partner on the back of a corgi.
Yes!
Just bounding along happily, just chatting away to themselves, and kind of like the goblin calls you to a halt as they kind of go across and then carries on.
I think Rock's probably like, oh, this is all very interesting, and aren't they colourful? Oh no, they're fighting. Okay, we'll just move along. That's fine.
Don't join in.
Yeah.
Do they do that a lot here? Just the random sort of fighting and yes. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's fine.
At
Good,
one point,
okay.
It'll be fine.
Asatia jumps onto the side of the carriage and thrusts a flagon of what looks like wine into Eugene and goes, "Take it! Take it!"
Take it, Eugene, take it.
Rock immediately just yells, "Take it! Take it!"
Oh God!
Aisling, Aisling, make me a quick wisdom check, please.
Oh god. Do I know you should or shouldn't? Was that wisdom, did you say?
Yeah.
15.
15. I think with the reaction of a Fey that knows their people, you slap the drink out of Eugene's hand. You do not take things unless the price has been agreed beforehand.
Got ya.
And I think you might want to remind your friends of that here.
Yeah. I will say, right, unless they've told you how much it's going to be and you agree to it, don't take shit.
Okay, sorry, there was a lot of yelling.
It's fine.
Felt a lot of pressure.
Fun! He says, and he falls off, literally just lies in the street as you go, just kind of like sticking his middle finger up at you.
I stick my head out the window and just go like.
I'm just going to say to Eugene, I'm terribly sorry. I just panicked a little. It was just...
Why were you shouting at me?
Well, because he shouted at us.
It's all right, lads. It's all right. I got you.
For the first time since the three of you come together, you all feel like Aisling is the one who's in control of this.
Yeah, Eugene is absolutely staying 100% close to Aisling at all times and not trusting Rock.
Yeah, Rock is completely overwhelmed by this. Like nothing is behaving the way it should.
It's my turn now. We've done a fancy party where Rock knew the rules.
Yeah,
my turn.
totally.
After about 10-15 minutes, you are brought to, as I say, what does look like a giant red brick pillar stuck into the middle of it, and there's a wooden structure underneath it and a large round building on the other side that you can just make out the edge of. And the goblin pulls in and dismounts and kind of bows. And I think at this point you kind of notice that they haven't actually said anything to you. They've literally just gestured motions.
I will bow elaborately, as always.
Does Aisling know if you're supposed to tip the goblins or not?
Under the rules of reciprocity, you're probably not meant to give them something because then they will owe you something. It's probably
Yeah, but they've given us something.
Yes, but they're doing their duty, which means they've done it
Okay.
for somebody else. So you're kind of in the okay with this one.
All right.
So
I won't then.
It's kind of down. If you'd agreed it with the commander before you'd started, it would have been okay. But if you do it now, then the goblin owes you something, and then it gets a bit weird.
Okay.
My God, there's so many rules that aren't rules.
And it gets very interpretive as well. And the more powerful the Fey, the more dangerous those interpretations can be.
Fun.
So, as you get down out of the carriage, a couple of Herringon come out from the building. Kind of
Fireball!
No.
Oh no, right, wrong game. Sorry.
Wrong one.
A small grey
It's
cat
scarf
comes out,
dickhead.
blows the pair of them up. Come around the outer edge, and these ones are male and female. White fur, much like cotton, but a lot slimmer and smaller. And they chatter. They say something to the goblin. They say something to the goblin, who nods, and then they kind of take the carriage from you as you do. And one of them pulls out a wooden chit, which they offer to whoever wants to take it.
I'm not taking anything from anyone in this place.
This is a payment for service. You can return it for your cart later. Those are the rules that we're playing in terms of hospitality. We will take care
I'll
of your
take
cart. Yeah. And that's how it should be done. They explained what it's for and why you can have it.
Like a ballet ticket.
Yeah, very much so. It's perfectly on the level. As you are going, the goblin kind of puts his hand on the cat, and the cat looks at you and goes, "We hope you enjoy your stay." And then he gets up and starts walking back towards the gate.
Oh my god.
You are led to round the outside of the building, where you find an entrance into the actual brickwork, and led up. The Herringon kind of motion for you to just take your steps up there. At the top, ask Milksop to point you in the right direction.
Okay.
And you walk up a spiral staircase, which seems to take both forever and no time at all.
Cool.
Coming to the top, you are greeted by another goblin, but this one is pale, like almost white, with big red albino eyes, with holding an umbrella to keep the sun off of her skin.
It's me in the summer.
Her ears droop, but you can still see the little tufts of those feathers again.
Is Milksop?
I am Milksop, yes. Are you here
Hi.
to see Auntie Needles?
That's the one.
Okay, follow me. And she
Thank you.
Gripping onto her umbrella, just kind of making sure it's always pointed at the sun. She just kind of
Ooh.
keeps on the outside of the building until she comes to a large wooden door, which she raps on with a strength that you wouldn't have thought someone so small had.
Oh my god. Secret bodybuilder Milksop.
The door opens up, and inside is a large hall with blues and greens, and a huge chair at the back, and drapes everywhere with depictions of spring all the way back. And sitting in a small rocking chair, where just in front of the throne, is the familiar fairy form of Auntie Needles, who just looks at you and goes, "Well, it's about time. I think it's about time we had that cup of tea, don't you?" And that is where we're going to end today.
Oh, we found her.
Yay! And we only marginally nearly died and gave away our souls.
We're all right.
Oh dear, this has been a lot of fun. Part 1 of your adventure out into the wilds. And
They should never let us out of the town.
First time in a proper Fey Enclave as well, which is
Yeah.
just like
Ashling's in her element.
little tiny points of the Feywild, just like hyper focused to try and keep Fey sane in a world that is not made for them.
It's not working.
That's true. Our definition is very different to yours.
It is true. They don't go crazy as often as you guys do, but they also live in the crazy a little bit as well.
Yeah. Our base
That's
level
the
of crazy
secret
is
to
much
not going
higher.
Crazy is to live in the crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly right. Lovely people. We have had a blast. This has been a lot of fun. I've been excited to kind of get these guys to their proper first Fey Enclave for a while, so this has been quite rewarding for me. Also, introduce them to one of the monsters that has really been a problem for the island for quite some time.
And continues to be a
That's true.
problem.
Yeah.
Cool. I think what we'll do is we'll go around, get everybody to tell, if you can just tell everybody where they can find you, what you've got coming up, and I will round it out with our stuff, with our general stuff, my stuff, and our friends' stuff, because it's a lot to go through at the moment. So I think we will start with Wayne, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah, you can find me on most of the socials as WayneFic01, or you can visit my website, which is waynefic.com. So feel free to pop along there and give me a follow or say hi. Yeah, you can always sign up for my newsletter where I talk about design and branding things, particularly for small businesses and creatives. Yeah, that's about it from me.
Amazing. And Theo, would you like to go second, please?
Sure. I am Theo. I have been Theo, and I will continue to be. Hopefully. You can find me.
It's all true. It's all true.
It's all true.
You can find me on the internet if you wish at theoblueillustrations.com. Links to all my social media on there. I don't have anything particularly exciting to tell you, except that I will be at Norwich Pride at the end of the month. If you're a local, you can come to, and you should come to Norwich Pride on the 30th of July. There will be a makers market with lots of small LGBT creators. So you should come check it out because I'll be there.
Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. And Charlie.
Cool. Yeah, I am Charlie. All my stuff is at charlievince.com. My Charlie spelt without an E. And there's still some bits left in my other little side hustle shop, which is pigeonclothing.com. Pigeon spelt Pijin. And that's where I find secondhand clothes that are still really nice and paint weird stuff on them. So there's still lots of those. And in my other shop on charlievince.com, I've put a couple of new things up on there. I've done a new sticker pack, which is for teachers. So if there's any teachers who want stickers that aren't heinously ugly, because I couldn't find any, they're all so horrible clip art nonsense, I do a sticker pack of feedback stickers for younger kids. And I've also put on there I've finally got myself some copies of the English version of this beautiful book that I got to work on for Max Appenroth and Verid Berman. Max being Mr. Gay Germany, the first trans winner of Mr. Gay Germany.
That's awesome.
Of this beautiful book called Transition Means Your Heart Stays the Same, and I had the pleasure of illustrating it, and it's a story about a transitioning parent from the eyes of his kid who is learning to call Quinn dad instead of mum, and it's adorable. And 50% of all the sales of these signed copies that I've put on my website are going to go to the National Network of Abortion Funds, because reproductive rights are intersectional and fuck the Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's awesome, and a really good cause to be involved with, and like really exciting. And Max is so sweet.
Max is an absolute babe, and I love him so much.
And
yeah, it's a really
the artwork is so beautiful.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, so there's a very limited number of signed by me copies on my
signed
shop.
by the artist.
By the artist. Yeah.
Amazing. Cool. I guess that leaves me to round up. You can find pretty much everything about me on using the link below here, chrismepham.com/links. You will also find links to the social for some other heroes on there, not only including this Twitch channel, but also the YouTube channel, which if you would go and give us a follow on there and kind of like some of the stuff there, it really just helps raise us up a little bit. That algorithm works completely different to everything else, so it helps us out a lot. I still have commission slots open. Have a look at my art on my Instagram. See if it's something that you would like one of your characters to be. And drop me a message. I have slots and space, and I am happy to talk to anybody about what they want to do. Outside of me and outside of some other heroes, who of course will be back next week, our friends at Dice and a Slice have the second episode of their second season of their ongoing homebrew campaign dropping tomorrow. We are very excited. The first episode was really, really good. Got to meet the new member of the crew and some other crazy people, some of whom you might recognize. Yeah, and so we're going to see how it all rolls out from there. How they currently have a crew but no ship, so we'll see how they deal with that particular issue moving forward. Beyond that, our friends Wicked Game are back on Wednesday with their Divisia Census game, which has been absolutely brilliant and some real high magic university drama and some really tense,
maximum drama,
wonderful moments, and some brilliant characters. I really do recommend it. Also, keep an eye on Wicked Games socials and give them a follow if you're not doing so already. Wicked Week is coming. It is the last week of July, starting the 24th, after some other heroes. Wicked Week will kick off a full 8 days of games, quizzes, roleplay,
workshops,
all sorts of weird and wonderful things going on.
You bitches are nuts.
They are crazy, and it's going to be amazing, and they are going to be so tired. Involved in that, Lydia is running a 2-part one-shot, still counts, set in her homebrew world. There is an overarching plot set in ancient Greece, being run for 24 hours by the absolutely crazy but wonderful Nikki, who is in our chat. And running up to that, there is a 12-hour stream featuring myself and Wayne and Alicia and Josh from Dice and a Slice, setting up the story for the 24 hours and just kind of giving you a real insight into the world. So we're all really involved. I'm not entirely certain, but I think Charlie and Theo are going to pop along for a few things as well through the week as well.
Yup.
You'll see us there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be mad. At the end of the week, everyone's just going to be really ecstatic and full of crazy energy, but it's going to be wonderful. I really can't wait. It's going to be so good. Yeah. Whew. Anything else?
Hi, Mum. Love you, Mum.
As always,
hi, Charlie's mum.
Hi, Charlie's mum. Hi, Colleen, and hi, Colleen's mum.
Hi, Colleen.
Love you guys.
Hi, Colleen. Hi, Colleen's mum.
You come along every week. Thank you very much to all the new faces. Thank you for Rooney for all the wonderful insights and all the amazing stuff that she does for us on social, which is just crazy. She's already got some memes up on Twitter. It's crazy.
Rooney.
She's so fast.
So fast.
I want it.
Fastest memes in the West.
Fastest memes in the West. We love Rooney. We love having you along, and we love everybody else who's joined us as well. We do appreciate.
Yeah,
the time
thank you,
spend with us.
everyone.
We have been some other heroes. We love you lots. Take care of each other. It's rough out there, we know, but you're always welcome here.